Story. Year after year, floods destroy homes, claim lives, and leave many communities counting their losses. A data scientist based in Canada believes technology could help change that. Professor Andy Asare is advocating the use of data science and artificial intelligence to predict and manage flooding more effectively. Ohiminteria reports.
Ghana over the years has faced perennial flooding that has led to loss of lives and property. Promises and attempts to solve this have not yielded positive results as human development and climate change continue to drive flooding in major cities. According to Professor Andy Asare, the world currently generates between 400 and 500 million terabytes of data daily through mobile phones, social media, banking and business transactions. He observed government can harness data and move away from reactive measures by precisely predicting rainfall patterns.
And say, okay, which areas in Ghana, which areas in Accra, okay, are prone to flooding, and what contributes to this whole flooding issues? Is it about the population in these areas, the true cause or the underlying issue of this whole natural disasters happening in Ghana? There's nothing that we can do to fix. And I don't stand to be corrected because we need to address the issue from the grassroots. So that's where data comes in. Because whatever decision that you make, whether we want to expand our bridges or you want to expand our gutters, you want to demolish houses, all of that, you need to base your decision on facts.
Highlighting the link between data science and flooding, he said, AI serves as the engine that processes massive amounts of environmental and meteorological data. With this technology, he noted that Ghana can use AI algorithms to predict things by looking at past rainfall patterns.
The flooding issue in Ghana right now has to do with multiple factors. It's not only one problem. People building structures in waterlogged areas, right, where they're not supposed to build, like the Ramsar sites, all of that, it's a factor. Individuals or citizens not being responsible, they throw garbages all over the place. I can only conclude when we were able to collect data set.
Professor Asare has over 15 years of experience in teaching data science and analytics in tertiary institutions in Canada, China, and Ghana. He has an upcoming free virtual data science and analytics conference in Ghana on June 27, 2026. From Kumasi, for Joy News, Ohiminteria reporting.
Sokoremampo Municipal Assembly has deployed an emergency security team to help prevent flood-related deaths during the rainy season. Now, the team, made up of personnel from the Ghana Police Service and also the Ghana National Fire Service, is stationed at flood-prone areas during heavy rains. They prevent residents from crossing floodwaters and assist occupants of submerged homes to safety. The Municipal Chief Executive, Ben Abdullah Hassan, says further measures are being taken to protect lives and properties.
Last year, when I took office, in fact 5 days into office, we conducted an extensive dredging of the storm drains, both the Aboabo Pelele and the Asabi Junction storm drain. And so you realize that the whole of last year, from around May, when I took office, to this, there wasn't a single flooding situation over there due to the extensive dredging works that were carried out there. This year we are continuing with the same. And next week, God willing, we will be doing another dredging. Our major problem with the Aboabo storm drain, or the Pelele as we normally refer to, is actually a complete re-engineering. That is what we believe will solve the situation. We need to widen it and increase the depth so that you'll be able to contain a lot of the volume with regard to the water that comes in there. And so thankfully the Member of Parliament has pushed this a lot. And a couple of months ago we met with the technical personnel from the Ministry of Water Resources, Works and Housing, and the Garrett Group and the World Bank Group. And we are pushing very hard to secure assistance in that regard so that there will be a complete re-engineering of the storm drain. The same thing applies to the Asebi storm drain. But currently what we are doing is to ensure that we put in place proactive measures to contain the flooding situation as regards the volume of water that comes through the various storm drains. And so ongoing work.
Now, Land Minister Emmanuel Akufo-Addo has disclosed that all 21 seismic monitoring stations across the country are not operating at their optimal capacity. According to him, this revelation has necessitated a nationwide upgrade of the seismic network. The upgrade is aimed at strengthening Ghana's earthquake preparedness and resilience, with measures including mandatory seismic assessments for building permit approvals in high-risk areas. And speaking at the commissioning of the upgraded National Seismic Network in Accra, the minister announced that seismic assessment will become a requirement before building permits are issued in designated risk zones. Mavis Kabuko has more. The following report.
20 out of the 21 seismic stations, we upgraded them. And the record is that, in fact, all of them were not working. All of them needed upgrade one way or the other.
For decades, limited seismic data has made it difficult for engineers and planners to accurately assess earthquake risks. Authorities say the upgraded National Seismic Network will address this challenge by providing continuous, real-time data to support safer construction, better planning, and improved disaster preparedness. Speaking at the commissioning of the upgraded National Seismic Network, Lands and Natural Resources Minister Emmanuel Akufo-Addo unveiled a series of policy measures aimed at strengthening Ghana's capacity to detect and respond to earthquake threats.
1. Mandatory seismic assessments for building permits, especially in high-risk regions. 2. Structural audits and retrofitting of critical infrastructure such as Akosua and Weja dams and in airport facilities. This will be done annually. Strict enforcement of the Ghana Building Code with clear seismic performance requirements. And lastly, continuous seismic monitoring combined with public education. And these policy priorities will be strictly enforced.
Director General of the Ghana Geological Survey Authority, Dr. Prosper Akaba, explained how the upgraded network will strengthen the country's ability to monitor seismic activity and provide timely information to potential threats.
Today, we proudly commission a modernized seismic monitoring network, incorporating broadband seismometers, strong motion accelerographs, solar-powered remote stations, advanced telemetry systems, and modern platforms for data acquisition, processing, archiving, and events notification.
Officials say the enhanced monitoring system will improve earthquake detection, support emergency response planning, and provide accurate information to both policymakers and the public. For Joy News, Mavis Kabuko's report, read to you.
Now, private tricycle waste collectors in Kumasi are threatening to dump refuse at unauthorized locations after being stranded at the Oti landfill for 4 days. They say congestion and poor management at the site have prevented them from accessing designated dumping points. So the situation has left dozens of tricycles carrying waste parked at the landfill entrance, with the refuse beginning to decompose in the rain. Francis Mensah has more in this report.
In protest over unresolved grievances, the frustrated waste collectors set tires ablaze at the waste disposal site in a demonstration. The act, they explained, was intended to draw the urgent attention of authorities to the deteriorating conditions at the landfill. Chairman of the Sanitation Tricycle Riders Association, Salim Mohammed, blamed the crisis on repeated breakdowns of compacting and leveling equipment at the landfill. He said the faulty machines has left waste piling up with no way to manage it properly.
So we sent our message to the mayor, and the mayor involved in, and he himself came in and come and see the thing that we are facing here. So he talked to the contractor, and he told him that what is going on here is not what he likes. So the contractor also let him an assurance. They give him 10 days for you to make sure that to deliver the problem that we are facing here. But after Mayor gone, say now the problem is almost worse. And what they are saying, their money is with the government for almost 2 years, which the government have not paid them. And aside that, because of the money issue, they can't get a new machine for them to operate.
The riders are appealing to their Santehene to personally intervene. Meanwhile, one waste collector, Bafo Bempa, warned that the operators would be forced to dump waste at unauthorized points across the Oti landfill site if officials failed to act.
Otumfor Nana Asantekin also sent a delegate. They too came here, and we don't think the message was being sent to Nana, because ever since these delegates came in here, the problem has been worsening up. Please and please, as we are saying joke on joke, today no Aboboya is going to sleep on landfill here. We are going to offload wherever we are parked. We are going to offload. Nobody can stop us today.
Francis Mensah's report for Joy News.
Now, efforts to restore lands damaged by illegal mining are beginning to take shape in the Tano-Nimri Forest Reserve. The Ghana Gold Board, in partnership with the Ghana Armed Forces and the Forestry Commission, has launched a national land reclamation project to rehabilitate degraded landscapes across the country. The first phase will focus on restoring 50 hectares of land within the forest reserve, which has suffered extensive environmental damage. Fatal Bayaga reports.
The collaboration forms part of broader efforts to rehabilitate degraded ecosystems and promote sustainable land management. Speaking at the signing ceremony, the Chief Executive Officer of Gold Board, Sami Jemfi, reaffirmed the institution's commitment to environmental restoration through its environmental, social and governance mandate and corporate social responsibility initiatives.
And so the Gold Board has initiated a national program for the reclamation and restoration of degraded mining lands and has engaged the Ghana Army Engineer Regiment through the Ministry of Defense to undertake reclamation works, pit filling, grading, land reshaping, compaction, and site stabilization works, among other civil engineering works within certain designated areas. This is the national program that we have come up with. And today we want to start with the Tano-Nimri Forest Reserves.
He also noted that in many instances, companies awarded contracts to reclaim illegal mining sites and are engaging in mining activities themselves. However, he stressed that this agreement would be different.
We are very happy to have the Ghana Armed Forces as our partner, because you know that most of the times, Dr. Brown will tell you that many people use reclamation as a ruse to engage in more illegal mining. They get reclamation contracts and then they go into forest reserves to do reclamation, but when the media goes there with their cameras, you find that they are not doing any reclamation, they are rather mining.
The Deputy Minister for Defense, Ernest Jemfi, and the Chief Executive Officer of the Forestry Commission, Hilch Brown, also underscored the importance of reclaiming degraded lands and safeguarding Ghana's forest resources.
I want to assure the Gold Board that the Ghana Armed Forces, men and women, are well aware that there are standards, there are regulations, that anything that is done untoward will be punished. And so they are guided by these standards and these regulations. And so we are going to be very professional and will deliver.
We are very confident that this partnership, as he said, with the military is what is going to make things really work. Because in the past, we've had significant challenges where private sector has been given permission to do reclamation. We know that the military has the technical expertise. They have a large batch of engineers, and I believe that we must make use of that.
The partnership is expected to accelerate land reclamation efforts, restore degraded forest reserves, and contribute to the long-term protection of Ghana's natural environment. For Joy News, Fatal Bayaga, Accra.
Now let me take you to the Upper West region. They walked to Tindamba Primary School every day to learn. But when they returned on Monday, they only found rubble. Over the weekend, bulldozers, payloaders and tipper trucks flattened the 70-year-old school, leaving 214 pupils without the classrooms that has served generations of children. The pupils have since been moved to borrowed classrooms, but the transition has come at a cost. Their school identity is gone, enrollment has dropped, and sanitation challenges persist as they struggle to adapt to their new environment. Joy News' Upper West Region correspondent reports that traders in the area also say they are not part of the market project that led to the demolition and are appealing to authorities to allow them to continue trading. For the children and traders, the message is simple. Let us learn. Let us trade.
The school that taught and produced Upper West Region's first Supreme Court judge, Justice Emmanuel Yonikulendi, in 150 years. Saturday, at about 2 a.m., bulldozers erased it while WA slept. Today, the young learners are in borrowed classrooms at Nure English and Islamic Primary and Tindamba Junior High School. 412 pupils last time we counted, now drastically reduced to 214. Two streams now lump into one with two head teachers. But it is not just space they lost. Look at the toilets. Look at the urinals. Untidy, overgrown with weeds and eyesore. From a school with history to a school with no identity. Kindergarten shares one unit, 6 classroom block with Nure English and Islamic Basic School. Relocated but lost. The 24-hour economy market is coming. Traders got 1 week to pack. For some, it means starting all over. For others, it means stopping school. 31-year-old Bashir Idrisu fixed his ties here for years. He says his only skill now has nowhere to go if he lives here.
Because I'm the one taking care of them. Our father passed away last year, so I'm the one taking care of my mother and my junior sisters. We are pleading the assembly that they are not yet built the market. They should fence the place and leave us at the 10 feet.
For his apprentice, Mohamed Zidane, he may not be able to sponsor his education.
I am a student. I work here to go to school. So if they relocate us here, if work is not going correct for us, I don't know how we are going to survive. And there are a lot of things we do here to solve the youth of their punches.
38-year-old mother of 3 and a divorcee, Sakina Yukubu, stated that the survival of her family depends here.
I don't have any place to locate my food container to. Now that I don't have any place, do they want me to be idling or going about chasing men to take care of my 3 kids? Our plea is that they should let us remain at the corner here, since our food vending point is not inside the project site.
Butcher Mohamed Fobi Boatan, though happy about the demolition, however is doubtful about the completion of the project. I am not entirely sad about the demolition. What I will be sad of is if they destroy the school and fail to execute the 24-hour economy market project. Government's position was clear right from the start. The minister in charge of local government, chieftaincy and religious affairs, Ahmed Ibrahim, proposed plans of the intended demolition of the school last January.
I heard in the news yesterday that a school is being converted to a 24-hour market. Kore, it is not coming from my ministry. And I don't think President Mama will endorse that. So we will not collapse a school to build a market. At least we should learn lessons from when we pulled down judges' houses to say we are going to build a cathedral.
The case went to court following disagreement between the landlords, then was settled out of the court by the water overlord. Policy was clear. Build a 24-hour market? Yes. Collapse the school? No. Even the president, John Dramani Mahama, weighed in during the launch of the Upper Share Park Resource Hub project, he dismissed claims that others came from above.
I did not say that the school should be used. I heard some people said, oh, a directive from above. And they like doing this from above, from above, from above. I don't know who is above there. Somebody goes and wants to take somebody's land. They say it's a directive from above. There's no above anywhere.
But in the dark, bulldozers had the last word. 70 years of learning gone in hours. They relocated the learners, but who will relocate their future?
70-year-old Ndamba Primary School may fall to the bulldozers or the payloaders. But the argument won't wash off. For this community, collapsing the school for profit is a stain this NDC government won't wash off. Reporting for J News, Rafik Salam. Wow.
Now let's do some business. Fuel prices could hit below 10 cedis soon at the pumps. However, this will be dependent on the sustenance of external and internal conditions. Fuel prices are currently being sold at around 13 cedis a litre. Duncan Amwa is Executive Secretary of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers and has been speaking to Joy Business.
Again, the caveat here would be if government sustains the local crude refining intervention, you may get to a point where you are cutting off a lot of logistics and premiums that is invariably passed on to the consumer. So if government sustains Central Refinery with the local crude that we've sent, if we are able to get TOR to also invest properly and be able to refine and deliver products locally, you should be getting to a point where we can also anticipate a 10 Ghana. But don't forget that the unspoken rule along the line has almost always been 1 litre to $1. And so where the dollar usually converges, you would find that a litre would hover around that. So if the managers of the economy decide that at some point the cedi should be strengthened further to get to 10 Ghana exchange to $1, it's possible you might see oil prices or fuel prices also decline to 10 Ghana a litre at some point.
And President John Dramani Mahama is expected in Abidjan for the Côte d'Ivoire-Ghana High-Level Summit on the future of cocoa economy. During the summit, President Mahama will hold bilateral talks with his Ivorian counterpart, President Alassane Ouattara, as the two leaders seek to deepen collaboration and develop strategies to secure a sustainable future for the cocoa industry. More in the following report.
The summit follows a series of preparatory engagements held under the framework of the Côte d'Ivoire-Ghana Cocoa Initiative, which has become a key platform for coordinating policies and advancing the interests of cocoa farmers in both countries. Speaking ahead of the summit, the Minister for Finance and Chairman of the Steering Committee of the Côte d'Ivoire-Ghana Cocoa Initiative, Dr. Akufo-Addo, highlighted the significance of the meeting and the outcomes of preliminary discussions. According to Dr. Akufo-Addo, the discussions have been encouraging and are expected to lead to stronger measures to protect the cocoa industry and improve the welfare of cocoa farmers.
Well, that's it for business. But don't forget that the AM show is sponsored by Shield Silicon Paint from Azar Group, Syntex Pipes, and Time Herbal Mixture. Now, the World Cup fever is on and everyone is getting excited. CompuGhana says the match shouldn't just be on the pitch. You can bring the stadium experience home. This is the time to buy your crystal clear TVs, soundbars, home theaters, smartphones, laptops, projectors, and more at unbeatable prices. Remember, this isn't just discount sale. It's a chance to win a 100-inch 4K smart TV, some cash, laptops, phones, and many other amazing prizes when you spend 1,000 cedis or more. So, rush to any Compi Ghana showroom or shop online at compigana.com. You can call us on 030-275-2020 or WhatsApp 024-314-3143. Compi Ghana Gold Rush Season, the ultimate football experience. Now, football's biggest tournament is on. Yeah, and there's no better way to back your team on Betano. Sign up today on Betano and claim a welcome bonus of up to 2,000 Ghana cedis on your first deposit to enjoy the World Cup. Simply create your Betano account, verify your details, and make your first deposit and make we bet. It's over 18 and terms and conditions apply. Game responsibly. This has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. And let me tell you about a wonderful property, because you can own your own property in one of Teme's fastest growing prime locations today. Yes, at Nestes Homes, we offer beautifully designed Studio 1, 2, 3 and 4 bedroom luxury homes crafted for modern living, comfort and long-term value. It's strategically located at Tema Community 26, just behind the Palace Mall. Our gated community gives you a serene and secure environment, easy access to major roads and key business areas, close proximity to schools, hospitals, malls, and essential social amenities. So reserve your unit today with just 10% deposit and enjoy flexible payment plans and also mortgage options. Call us now on 053-101-4440 or 053-101-4447 to book a viewing or visit us at www.nestes.com.gh. And that's it for the AM News. My name is Denicia Pomaji. For more news, I know a place. I highly recommend you log on to myjoyonline.com. Up next is sports. Enjoy the rest of the show. Have a lovely Wednesday. Go Black Stars.
We have targeted specific things we want to do in the short term, and the key one is to manage crop nutrition, and that's what we are working on. And we've put all of them on board. We've given them the resources that they need to be able to do what we need immediately for us. That's on that level.
So crop development. You said you have 9 things.
Yes. So that's crop development. So then under the crop development, we are also looking at the development of new varieties. I talk about soil management, and then so the next level is development of varieties. That's how we are working with Crop Research Institute, WACI, to be able to give us varieties where we are having difficulties, especially in the area of tomato production in this country. So we are collaborating with them to get us varieties. Apart from that, we've also done some level of research to find out certain, with GMET, to look at certain areas where we have low night temperatures in the dry season.
When you say GMET, you mean Ghana Meteorological Agency?
Yes.
Okay.
Because you see, tomato as a crop in itself, fruit in the night at low temperatures. So you can have day-night temperature to don't affect tomatoes. So if you want to have fruiting for tomatoes, you need to watch climatic conditions, especially in the night. And there are specific locations in this country, even the dry seasons, where you can get those low night temperatures. And we'll be able to locate about 20 locations that we are sure that this year we'll do a lot of massive productions in those areas to curtail the issue of tomato importations from Burkina and the other countries that will affect the increase in price of tomatoes in the off-season. So that's our major target. Our major target is to ensure that those vegetables, so we call it the Vegetable Development Project. Apart from that, we are doing something we call the Solar Panel Borehole Irrigation Project. And we have it in specific locations across the country. So that, because really, if you look at our level of irrigation infrastructure, if we want to develop it and expand it within the shortest possible time, we will not be able to reach the level. So quickly we developed a program called Irrigation for Wealth Creation, because of the vegetable development program.
How many hectares have we irrigated with that project? Because I know you've given us some boreholes already.
We've done almost about 250.
250 hectares.
250, yes. Boreholes, and each of the boreholes, each borehole can be able to do about 1 hectare.
So you've enabled irrigation on 250 hectares.
Apart from that, we have renovated. We have renovated the Dowenya irrigation project for our rice production, rice seed production, because seed is a problem for us. Even in rice production, we need to ensure that we have sufficient seed. So we're collaborating with Copia to increase our production. We've done about 100 hectares now, a new site to produce the rice seeds in Dowenya. We've moved in to do renovation of Aveime rice project. We are doing a lot of renovation in Aveime. We moved also to this particular place. At Ashama, we've almost finished because we want to do a lot of onion production in Ashama. So if we move to Ashama now, Ashama irrigation project is seriously under renovation and rehabilitation, just to ensure that we reduce the importation of onion. You know, Ashama is known for the production of onion. Then we move to the north. We're doing a lot of irrigation, rehabilitation of irrigation infrastructure, and also to develop the borehole system. Apart from that, there are specific low valleys and land developments we are doing. We're doing land development in a sense that, you see, in this country, a lot of people want to go into agriculture, but the cost of land development is so huge. So we identify certain government lands that they are not using. So we move into those areas, remove the stamps, develop and lay the land bare for the communities to take advantage of.
Honorable, the things you are saying, you mentioned tomato, for example.
Yes.
To be able to meet our tomato requirement, plant about 56,000 hectares of tomatoes, right? Of irrigated fields of tomatoes. 56,000 hectares approximately.
On which yield?
What
yield are you talking about? Because the comprehensive yield, if you are able to do a well comprehensive crop nutrition program, the level what we are getting now in Ghana is a peanut. Because farmers are getting from 9 metric tons per hectare to 10 metric tons per hectare. And we can get even over 40 metric tons per hectare.
Okay, so
if you look at the nutritional program, and the program we are collaborating with FarmMate, Agrokin, and some other companies in the north, the focus is to increase productivity.
Okay.
So yes, the size of the production volume or the production size is important, but our focus is to increase productivity.
Yes, and on productivity, so there are 3 factors.
Yes.
The area we are cropping,
yes,
which if we are able to increase our productivity from say 9 tons per hectare,
if you are able to do times
say
2,
15 tons.
Yes,
that's what I base my calculation on. Then we need to do about 56,000 tons. We need a lot of fertilizer. We need irrigation. Farmers are complaining they don't have fertilizer. The irrigation extension you are mentioning to so far, 250 boreholes means about 250 hectares. It pales in comparison to what we are doing. Is Feed Ghana not moving too slow?
No, you've got it wrong. You see, the off-season production is different from on-season production. If you talk about, if you zero in now on tomato to be specific, I can tell you the tomato we produce in this country is more than what we consume.
So what happens?
The difficulty is post-harvest management and packaging. You understand me? Or that key is the word is post-harvest management. That is key. So we, as I said, we are collaborating with the private sector.
I'm interested in that. You say you can tell us that the tomatoes we produce is more than what we consume.
Yes.
Let's stay there. Let's look at the figures. How much do we produce? How much do we, and how many do we produce? How many do we consume?
You see, the average consumption of tomatoes in this country, if you look at the statistics, the current statistics is around 54 530,000 metric tons. It's within that figure. Some estimate it to be around 800 because it's difficult to actually collect actual agricultural statistics in this country.
Let's use
but the bottom line I'm saying is that the 500 that I'm talking about, if you look at the production of even my area alone, I'm talking about the Angono, Anyami, down to Keta to Aplau, during the major season of tomato cultivation, and look at just the average yield, and you calculate the land size, we are not getting the statistics right.
Yeah.
We are not getting in terms of the major season, in terms of the volume of tomato we produce in this country, if one, we are able to do a post-harvest management well, and we transform the raw tomatoes into processed tomato, either in the form of puree and other sources, we'll be able to feed this country.
Before we do that, tell me. So you've said there's a consumption 530,000 metric tons. Let's use that.
Yes.
What do we produce?
Currently, statistics indicate that we have a gap.
But you said that you think we produce more than we need.
That's why I bring you to the statistics. So
yes.
You say you would say that even though the data says it's 800,000, you believe it's 530.
Yes.
I'm using your 530. I say, what do we produce?
Currently, the statistics is between 60 to 70%. 70%, and don't also forget that the post-harvest loss alone.
But this same statistics say that the post-harvest losses account for 20 to 40%.
Yes.
So the statistics, first of all, will tell you that we produce about 400,000 metric tons, and of that figure, between 20 to 40% is lost to post-harvest losses.
Yes.
So
that's what I'm saying, that just management of the post-harvest loss alone will help us even take care of all the in terms of the variations. That's one. Secondly, the yield, like what's the name Kojo was saying, if we can double the yield of tomato production in this country without necessarily expanding the size of our farms. If we do just by ensuring that we have the right variety and we do the right crop nutrition, we don't need to expand the size of our farms in this country to produce enough tomatoes. That's our focus was on variety and soil and nutrition management. And we are doing that. As I said, we've conducted working to do a new variety for us. The new breed we are doing right now is purely on varieties that can withstand weather conditions, that we can ensure that we have a higher yield. Currently, we have engaged a private sector companies that will do about 40 locations. Currently, as I'm speaking, we've taken about 40 locations. We have organized farmers in various groups. We are doing it in Angola, we are doing it in Asunafo, we are doing it in Navrongo, about 40 locations. In the water region, we are doing it in Woje. About 40 locations.
And you can confidently say that after this 40 locations and the private sector, we are going to be tomato sufficient.
Yes, that one I can assure you.
And that prices will be stable.
No, that is the one thing I want to do. That's the one thing I want to do as a coordinator. To show to Ghanaians that if we put our heads on something, we can do it. Because it's simple, it's not difficult. Look, when I was very young, everybody knows Navrongo tomatoes. So where is Navrongo tomatoes now?
Tell me, where is it?
Yes, it's because of post-harvest management. That's why we have those problems. So we are putting up pack houses. Quickly, we have started 20 pack houses.
To pack the tomatoes?
Yes.
Will packing the tomatoes preserve the tomatoes?
Yes.
How?
Pack house is the first point of ensuring that you manage post-harvest loss. It's the first point. Then the second point is processing. Because if you don't even pack well, the rotting will start from the farm. But if you have a pack house, most of the rotting that happens at the farm gate will be transferred into what? The pack house. Then there's a processing facility. Then you move into a processing facility. Then you process. So we are not only talking about just a pack house. We are ensuring that after you pack very well, then you move into processing. So very, very critical. I'm saying that if we have a solution that we can deal with this tomato issue without any thinking. Because look, as I said earlier on, when I was very young, in the dry season, any tomato you consume, they will tell you it's coming from Navrongo. So we are reviving ICO to ensure that we have about 500 hectares of land in ICO. So if you even do ICO alone in the dry season, you can produce a lot of tomatoes in the dry season, and that's the focus. Currently, the ICO boss is in my office.
Which is tunnel irrigation scheme?
Yes, via.
The ICO is via?
Yes.
Okay.
See, so we want to ensure that that particular zone, because it's the zone, the climatic conditions is as equal to the Burkina. The only problem was, the reason why most of the farmers, you know the problem, I don't want to mention it, the only problem was that, one, the issue of marketing, that was a huge problem. That's why most of the tomato farmers in those areas don't want to go into it again. And the issues, because of, they've got some loan, during those days they got a loan, and because of the glut, some of them have to run away from their community and all that. So we're giving them assurance, we've given them a market accessibility, that the moment the full value chain is there, we're giving you seeds, we're giving you fertilizers, produce, there's a market available. When you produce, we buy.
You've given the seed and the fertilizers, or you want to give?
No, I'm saying, no, every farmer, no, listen to me, every farmer we are engaging.
Okay.
We are giving you tomato seeds, we are giving you fertilizers. And there is a facility, a loan facility attached to it for farm management. So it's a comprehensive, for tomato, I can give you all the assurance.
Thank you so much for staying with us. So, yeah, today is the big day, match day today. I'll be asking you predictions, score lines and all. This morning we are joined by Kwame Nkrumah, who's a lawyer and a political commentator. Honorable Dickson Kyere Duah is MP for Berekum West. FIFA World Cup, former head of public affairs, Cocoa Board. Is a good Wednesday. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Okay, well, on Zoom as well as Dr. Asante. Doc, it's good to have you on Zoom. I hope you're well. It's been a minute.
Good morning, and I'm fine. Good morning to my colleagues in the studio, of course, Ghanaians as well.
Okay, Honorable, it's a football season, and I know you'd be excited. I know how football tickles you. Lawyer, I wasn't saying that one. I hope you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Today, dear, Black Summer score, man score, dear. Which number is Black Abejuba? Fifi, I hope you are well.
Well, it could have been better, but it's not bad.
Could have been better?
Oh, yeah.
What will make it better for you?
Well, if all we're going to talk about was wishing the Black Stars well, and there wouldn't be the need for us to talk about Partey not showing up and all that.
Yeah, then you'd have been better.
Yeah,
but it's life. It comes to these challenges. Otherwise, we won't have this.
And we're optimistic. We're looking forward to victory tonight.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Let me start with the sports lover. So far, the World Cup fever, the preparations, Honorable, today's expectations, your score, your predictions, and I know you're better bet.
I am first
escrow account. You'll be our escrow account.
Just a small fee on that.
Okay, Honorable, let me hear.
Before I say anything, let me assure you that Black Stars are going to go through to round of 32. No two ways about that. We're going to go through to round of 32.
How did you work the math?
We are winning today.
Okay.
And we're not going through with 3 points.
3 points.
Go through with more. 3 may be enough, but we're going through with more. So that is the assurance I want to give to you. But a quick one, before I come to Black Stars, let me take this opportunity to welcome our revered chiefs and traditional leaders from the Bono region who are in Accra to pay a courtesy call on His Excellency, together with the indefatigable regional minister. Emefa, lately he's been in the news for making the Bono region a hell of a place for nation wreckers who are smuggling our cocoa to Cote d'Ivoire. If you've been following closely, and is accompanied by the Evergreen Regional Chairman, Ambassador Kojo Nyamechemafo, together with all MDCs in the region, and of course the MPs in the region, the caucus, will accompany them. So let me use this opportunity to warmly welcome them. So today is a very good day. After that courtesy call, then we will have the pleasure of watching our Black Stars.
Okay.
And gauging from the mood in the camp. Emefa, you know, I've been with Black Stars since the year 2003. I followed their matches. In the build-up to the 2006 World Cup, I attended every single match, both home and away, and I was in Germany for our maiden World Cup, where I sat, I remember, on the 12th June at the Hanover Stadium, where we were beaten by Italy. And Italy were the eventual winners of the 2006 World Cup anyway. But that gallant display gave us the foundation to beat Czech Republic and United States and went ahead. So I want to see a gallant display of Black Stars today. And I'm very confident they are going to give us that performance. You know, we are not in a very good place, I must say. Already 4 of our regulars are out of the team, not by the will of the technical team. Sometimes if they ignore certain players, then they have technical and tactical replacement. But these are forced omissions. Alexander Jiku is not going as a result of injury. Salisu is not there for the same reason. Kudus is not there for the same reason, injury. And unfortunately, our midfield campaign Partey is also not playing. So we are not in a good place at all. That notwithstanding, I'm very confident in the boys in camp. And I like the posturing of the coach, who has even refused to discuss issues relating to Partey. He says he has his cards on the table, and anything outside those cards are not things he's going to talk about, because discussing Partey will not change anything. And I think he's in a very buoyant mood. So I'm expecting a very good display and a win over Panama. You know, this World Cup in particular has not been good for African teams. 8 African teams have so far played, and we've not gotten a single win.
We have.
South Africa lost 2-0 to Mexico. Ivory Coast lost to Ecuador 1-0.
Ivory Coast won.
Ivory Coast and
they won against Ecuador. It was 1-0.
That's the only one.
Yeah.
That's the only one. Yeah, that's the only one. Tunisia lost 5-1.
Yeah.
Senegal lost 3-1 to France. Algeria 3-0 to Argentina just yesterday, and that was star performance from Messi. Morocco 1-1 against Brazil, and Cape Verde 0-0 against Spain.
This guy said Morocco did well.
And Egypt. Egypt drew 1-1 against Belgium. So it's not been good. But are we going to see
Ghana
vintage Black Stars winning against Panama? People have been talking about...
Maybe I like the cha-cha part.
People have been talking about cricket annihilation of Panama, which I totally disagree.
So I'll take yours.
Not, you know,
you don't want to predict. Starts looking at you.
It's not about the number of goals you score that matter.
It matters to me.
It is about the vital 3 points. And you know,
if you don't score, that's when we start looking at how well you play.
It's about the
let me ask
about the vital 3 points. And if I made a strong debate on Parliament a couple of days ago about the importance of openness. That's why this is very important. You know, Ghana has not been particularly good at the opening matches. We've lost 3 out of the 4 opening matches. I think the way the trajectory of any team in the World Cup level depends on the opener. That is why this particular match is so important to us. And we have our issues, especially with the mass visa refusals.
Yes.
We have issues, many people not getting opportunity to attend interviews. In fact, a number of people, including journalists, have been given out of date.
Some it's not exclusive to Ghana. Other countries have suffered same. But give me a minute.
We have issues with player call-outs and selections. These notwithstanding, we are Ghanaians in the first place, and these people carry the aspirations of millions of us. So let us put all these aside, together, and give.
We want a prediction. Won't put anything aside. The thing you want to put aside is what we want to put on the table.
Issues of lawyer,
including issues
lawyer,
how are you?
And let us get the win.
How do you feel about today?
He will not run away from it. We'll talk about it.
That's why Muftar is standing here. Why do you think I planted Muftar here?
I hardly watch the Ghana match.
Okay, today there will you watch?
I mean,
you get palpitations.
Yes, exactly. And I don't think we should take Panama for granted. You know, the FIFA rankings, at least from what is on the net, Panama is number 34, Ghana is number 73. Until I checked, I thought Ghana was far ahead of Panama.
Are you serious?
Unless the internet is lying.
I've not checked before. It's not okay.
We are the least ranked team in our group.
It's embarrassing.
The rankings do not matter.
Hey.
I mean,
we went to Germany.
Czech Republic was second.
US was fourth.
Yeah.
Italy was fifth.
Italy was fifth.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we were able to beat Czech Republic.
Yes. But what I would say is that I would urge the Black Stars, go in. We don't know of Panama as a football nation, even though they are ahead of us. Go in with their mindset they are going to play a team like Germany. Don't take them for granted.
Okay.
Go in and have fun. Because when you panic also, you lose. Go with a level head. You understand me? Ghanaians are behind you. Look at this studio. Throughout, everybody is wearing their jersey. We are behind you. So go out, have fun, and make us proud. I am convinced we'll win by 2-0. And we'll score both in the...
Hey!
That's just my...
This is the chacha I like.
What
the numbers come, yo?
It's giving different...
Lawyer, they're referring to you to bet. Okay, Fifi, you already told me how you're feeling, right? About today?
I'm optimistic to start with. But just like Honorable said, I do not want us to start behaving as if it's a straw on the field. There are no minus in this competition. Yes, of course, Tunisia has lost 5. I think one of the African teams.
Curaçao 7-1.
7-1-2. So you might think that, okay, well, there are teams you can, but there are no minus. Yesterday, I was watching the Iraq game, and I was super impressed how Iraq played, even though they lost to Norway. But the confidence with which they played, I was shocked. I never expected to see Iraq play that beautiful football. If you also watch Cape Verde against Spain, wow.
Spain.
That was surprising. The confidence they demonstrated. It showed that you cannot go into this competition thinking that the team is just a small footballing nation and then you just win against them. So I expect that we go in putting our best show out there so that at least we can guarantee some 3 points and then we can go ahead and get a draw against England, because in fact that is the game I want us to win. The England game, that is the game I want us to win.
You want to beat your colonel?
I think it is emancipation for Fifi.
Yeah. But beyond that, I think there are also some issues concerning football. Even though, yes, we are all in the mood, we all want our team to win, but we cannot also wash away what has happened. Or yesterday, I was very, very angry the moment I heard the denial of the visa to Thomas.
We'll come to that. I want. Muftar has been reporting extensively on this matter, Thomas Partey, and even others who had been refused visa generally in this tournament, this World Cup. But Muftar, let's start from yesterday. You've been reporting. We know that really there was an appeal and there was a hearing. Give me an update on that. Okay, so the Thomas Partey requested for a visa on May 21 per the facts that were presented to the court. It was held via video conference. So some of us were privileged to have followed it. And on May 24, he was told that, and in fact, let me just give a chronological order of what they said. One, when he filled the form, there's an area in the form when you're filling.
you have to answer questions as to whether you've been charged or you have any criminal record or not. He answered no in that area.
Is this question in one? Are they two separate questions or they are one?
No, it's just one question.
One question.
Yes,
whether you have been convicted, charged.
Convicted, or he answered no.
Okay.
In that area. So the officer wrote to him, indicating to him that there are media reports all over the world suggesting that you've been charged. That was when he now responded to the officer and submitted police records from the UK to them, indicating, and portion of that had indicated that he was being charged for sexual assault relating to a 16-year-old in the UK, and that he was standing trial, which will be happening somewhere June 2027. So where he wrote to the officer indicating that, the officer then responded to him again, telling him that he should have answered, responding to the fact that it was true. That was when Thomas Partey's lawyers wrote to the Canadian visa application team, telling them that the records he had submitted were incorrect and that they needed to make changes to those records. So they submitted what they believed were the correct records submitted. His lawyers argued in court that he did not fill the form. Someone filled it on his behalf. But the judge had said that, okay, even if someone filled it on your behalf, you signed that the document was yours, so you have to take responsibility for it. That was one aspect of it. There was the other aspect of the conversation where the lawyer said that Thomas Partey will suffer irreparable damage if he doesn't enter Canada to play the World Cup, because he has never played World Cup before. That was when the MCI lawyer got up. In fact, each lawyer was given 25 minutes to speak. That was when the MCI lawyer got up and told them that Thomas Partey played the last World Cup. And even mentioned the matches he played, that he played 3 matches. So their claim that he will suffer irreparable damage was not acceptable. So, in fact, let me just pull out the other aspects of the document, just to have, so that we'll have a proper appreciation of what was really discussed. So, as I mentioned, so he asked for 6 reliefs.
Okay.
Relief 1 was the fact that he wanted an order abridging the time for service and filing of this motion and supporting motion record, and dispensing with compliance with the ordinary notice and timing requirements. And then let me just go to our area of interest, which says that on June 15, Counsel for the applicant submitted a letter pursuant to 35 of the rules stating that the matter is exceptionally urgent and requested that the matter be heard as soon as possible. By court direction dated June 15, a special sitting was scheduled to be held via a Zoom video conference, as I mentioned, which was done yesterday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, which was 1 p.m. Ghana time. In the evening of June 15, the respondent filed a respondent motion record opposing the relief requested by the applicant. And as I said, Thomas Partey is a citizen of Ghana, which are the facts that were presented to court. They said that on May 21, the applicant replied for temporary resident visa to visit Canada as part of the Ghana Football Association delegation under FIFA invitation to play Ghana's World Cup match against Panama, scheduled for June 17, 2026 at the BMO Field in Toronto. In the statutory criminality and security questions of the TRV application, the applicant answered no. And to having ever been arrested for, charged with, or convicted of any criminal offense in any country. So it goes on to say that on May 25, Immigration, Refugees, Citizenship of Canada issued a procedural fairness letter to the applicant advising that open source information showed that he was facing several sexual assault related charges in the United Kingdom, and raising concerns regarding the applicant's obligation to answer truthfully under subsection 16.1 and misrepresentation under SS40 of the IRPA. On May 27, the applicant responded to the PFL with a notice of criminal charge sheet and a statement of assets and other financial statements requested. They go on to say that on May 28, prior to the final decision on admissibility, An officer noted in the global case management notes system that the applicant did not meet the requirements under paragraphs IC or 2D of the temporal public policy to exempt certain FIFA invited applicants attending the 2026 Men's World Cup from the biometrics collection requirement, thereby rendering him ineligible for the biometrics exception. The IOCC therefore requested that the applicant pay the applicable fee. IOCC additionally requested that the applicant provide an original police certificate provided by the UK. And this was an interesting aspect. In the court hearing, he was actually asked whether he submitted that police certificate to the US when he was entering. And they said no.
The police certificate that indicates that he's standing trial? Standing
trial to the U.S. immigration authorities. And they said no, they didn't do that as well. And they went on to say that on or around June 4, that was when his request was finally dismissed. So on June 10, they eventually told him that he was not going to be accepted into the country based on the fact that they felt he was not truthful when he was filling the form.
In very simple terms, you have read a lot of English. In very simple terms, what has happened to Thomas Partey?
What has happened is that he's been denied entry.
Because?
Because they felt that he was not truthful in filling the form. And the other aspect of it was the fact that they actually believed, okay, so not to sound a bit some way, but I felt that if we were to engage them diplomatically, we should have been diplomatic without this media fanfare.
Or legal. You didn't think
there wasn't the legal to go the legal way. There wasn't the need to be in the media space telling them that we'll go all out, we'll go legal and all that. Engage them in a diplomatic manner. How you get Thomas Partey to enter Canada, we don't care. But when you come to tell the world that they've been unfair and what, this is a sovereign country, you cannot dictate. Imagine the judge
would have been based on the information available to even Thomas Partey himself. If he didn't fill out the form himself, then he can arrive at the conclusion that his rights have been trampled upon, right?
Did he sign? Did he sign it?
Okay.
But just the final aspect.
We'll go to the lawyer.
If the judge had accepted his appeal, that's a precedent set.
Of course.
And anyone can use it to get access.
Absolutely, yeah.
And the sovereignty of their country, tell me, people will say due to pressure, they cow to Ghana's request. And I don't
so
think
if I understand, he won't play the opening match today.
He will not play.
He will watch from...
He will watch it from the US.
From the US.
Yes.
Then, do you think this entire thing can affect his other visas that had been issued to him?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
I'm not too sure anything of that stuff will happen.
Okay. Let's go to the lawyer first. I'll come to the football lover and the member of parliament who's followed this matter very much. But let me go to the... These are quite very immigrational matters, right? What do you think must have gone wrong?
I think the issue is simple. Most of us have filled visa forms before.
Buta, do you want to police me this morning? Or you want to go back?
No, it's fine.
Okay, you want to stay with me?
No, let me go.
Okay, then go. I'll see you
You have your conversation.
I'll see you later. What are your scores, by the way, today?
Well, I'm not someone who likes predicting. I think Ghana will win, but to predict will be hard because football is a very funny sport.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
So as I was saying, most of us have filled visa forms before. And there's an express warning there that makes sure that what you have stated is true. So even if somebody fills a form for you, it is assumed that it is filled upon your consent or information provided by you. So it is neither here nor there that somebody else filled it for him. He did sign it.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. I also heard another argument on another program by one of these diplomatic and immigration experts that Canada has very strong refugee laws. And if you are facing trial in another country and you get there and you apply for asylum, it's likely you can get temporary asylum whilst you are looking into your application itself. So that risk is there. So I think that as unfortunate as it is, even if there had not been those discrepancies in filling the form, they would have refused him anyway. This discrepancy in the form is only an additional reason that they are using. And you know, Canada too, they have issues with pedophilia and the sexual crime, admittedly, in that part. It's everywhere, even in Ghana. But in that part of the world, they seem to have, there's a lot of the time, sorry?
A more stiffer rule and regulation around it.
Because there's a lot of the time leads to murder and all that. Here we do have rape, defilement and all that. But over there you have children being kidnapped, killed. So the sexual offenses there, more often than not, lead to very dire circumstances. So they look at sexual offenses a bit differently from us. Us, you have violated somebody, go to jail. But to them, there's loss of life, there's a lot of issues involved. So it's something they do not tolerate at all. Sexual offenses are serious everywhere, but they see it a bit differently from how we see it. Because as we speak, I'm sure there are convicted sex offenders in this country, people standing trial and all that, but we do not see these things the same way. So we have to understand the Canadian government. It's unfortunate. And also, I think if indeed it is true that their lawyer stated that he hadn't played a World Cup match, I mean, that is very serious. You understand me? Judges do not take lightly to you. It's called trying to throw sand into the eyes of the court. The courts do not take kindly to you trying to do things like that. Even if the charge against you is minor. The moment you try and deceive the court sees you in a different light. And when there's a discretion to be exercised, the discretion will be exercised against you. Because there's what you call judicial notice, which means that the judge can even Google, has Thomas Partey played in the World Cup before? Or or do a quick phone call to FIFA or whatever. When you present such inaccuracies, especially in affidavit form, an affidavit is an oath. And it's likely that the affidavit would have been deposed by Thomas Partey himself. So now there are many levels of deception, which makes it very unlikely for him to have been allowed to play. But I like what Muftar said about exploring a diplomatic route. You understand me? I suppose through that maybe some assurances could have been given that maybe when he gets there, you know, there are many ways. He will go to the stadium under police protection. He will be accompanied wherever he goes to make sure that he doesn't try and abscond. Even though I don't see why he would want to
abscond or anything.
Exactly, because the UK courts have been quite fair and lenient. I think I read somewhere that the trial will start in 18 months or something from when he was charged. You understand me? So I would say that at the end of the day, maybe whoever filled the form and his lawyers may have done him a bit
disservice.
Of a disservice.
Fifi, you were on the floor before we went to Muftar.
I will repeat that when I first heard the news about his denial, I was very upset. I actually posted it on Facebook, and it was based on the information that came out. The information was that he has been denied because of the ongoing court case in UK. And then the question all of us were asking at the time was, what happened to presumption of innocence until the person has been proven guilty? Only for us to now realize that it wasn't just a matter of him going through a legal process, but actually he told a lie. And the most worrying part is what lawyer was making reference to, that we told a lie. And this is a matter where you've had the minister responsible for sports engaging the media, talking about what we are doing and how seriously we've taken this matter. You also had the Minister for Foreign Affairs talking about using the diplomatic means, engaging at a very high level, and then proceeding to say that we are going to court. The question you ask yourself is that if you are exploring the diplomatic means, would you still go to court on the same matter, then it means that the diplomatic means you're exploring is not giving you a result. Because if it is giving you a result, what would be the essence of going to court?
Time was of essence. You couldn't have used one.
I agree. So it still means that you are not getting result from exploring the diplomatic means of resolving the matter.
What I'm saying is that we all know that diplomacy takes a bit of time. But for this one time...
diplomacy also, I accept that there's urgency in the matter. So it doesn't mean that exploring diplomatic means only meant that you had to wait for a very long time. They also are very much aware of the fact that Partey was supposed to play tonight. So yes, whatever we were trying to get from diplomatic engagement, we did not get a result, and that is why we opted to go to court. We went to court to say that Thomas Partey has been playing for the Spanish team for 5 years. How? Partey was playing for Arsenal just last season, but we went to court to say that he's been playing in Spain for 5 years. We went to court to say that Thomas Partey, this will be his first World Cup, and if he does not get this opportunity, he will lose out completely. This is public knowledge. So why would we do this? This is a matter, you had ministers of states involved. And we said we could not go through the affidavit. I'm not saying that the ministers were supposed to do that. But clearly, there are senior people who were supposed to be interested and ensure that the right thing was done. We're talking about the failing of his forms. Whether or not he failed it or not, he signed it. By signing, it presupposes that he agrees to the things that have been failed on his behalf. And a standard practice is that if you fill a form for someone, before the person put his signature or her signature on it, you must go through with the person. Okay, this question was asked. Okay, this is how we answered it. Even if the person cannot read, this question was asked, this is how we answered it. Then the person will say that, okay, I agree with you. No, this one, I think that how you answered it, there was a problem with it. I want you to go back and correct it. And that is what was expected to happen. Were we expecting to just present anything because he's Thomas Partey or because he was representing Ghana? So just go out there and then deceive the people. It's embarrassing.
Well,
it's shameful that someone who Thomas Partey was not going there for a holiday.
No.
Thomas Partey was going there to represent Ghana. Whoever acted on behalf of the Republic of Ghana. Is this the best way we can represent ourselves to the international community? This is a story. Every major news outlet is reporting. And the first time I read a story about this denial, I read it from the Wall Street Journal. I think, no, it was the New York Times. That was the first time I read it. And I saw
Joy Online.
The Athletic, which is one of the major football or sports outlets. Every news outlet is reporting this. And this is how we are representing Ghana. That when a Ghanaian official, bear in mind, he's an official of Ghana, he's representing Ghana. When he's filling a form, he will make these basic mistakes. We will tell a lie.
I will go on Zoom before I come to Honorable.
How do we do this? But beyond that, I think that we should not lose the bigger picture, which is focusing on the Black Stars. Maybe we'll put this one in the freezer. But definitely after the World Cup.
And freeze it, and then you bring it out to thaw. And then you talk about it.
Yeah,
later.
because
okay. Let me go on Zoom. Honorable, when I come back, 2 questions I have for you. What's usually the norm? What's the tradition? Is it surprising that for footballers going out and seeking visas such as this one we have, who normally fills the form? Is it an agency? Is it the GFA? Is it FIFA itself? What role do people play? Who are we going to roll the responsibility to, if there's any? And is it sheer negligence, or there could be more deeper arguments that were raised in court that we're not privy to? I'll come back to you on that. But Doc, thank you so much for staying with us. I'm coming back to you. What do you sense? Is it sheer negligence, irresponsibility, or what? This is not surprising to you.
I was just surprised because things of this nature, there are, rules and regulations govern this. So you approach it the way it ought to be approached. If you take any short course relative to that, I'm afraid you are going to have your fingers bent. I believe that those who fill the form, the lawyers, they did not do their best. I'm not a lawyer, but a little that we have heard, you go to court and you present facts, something that's supposed to be facts to the court, and you present something different, and then it is checked. Obviously, you'll be exposed. You know more than I do. The court don't take kindly to this at all. More so, the argument that I did not fill the form doesn't hold any water. At the end of the day, it bears your signature. So you are satisfied with the content, and that is why you are approved with the signature. So all that we are hearing about it, the issue is that now who caused up? I think that Partey caused it. The lawyers also caused it. Going forward, I believe that even if somebody is filling a form, you give the right information to the person, and you yourself, you go through, or you get an assistant to help you to understand all that have been put down before you append your signature as one. And for the lawyers, they know what to do in court. So this story we have heard, if it is what it is, then they also owe us an apology because why do you misrepresent issues in court? For me, that's a worrying situation. But we will learn from this curve and move on. Okay. I believe that this will not dampen the spirit of Black Stars. They will work and work hard. How their preparations will take them to, we look forward to seeing it. But I know it's a difficult tournament, especially for the Black Stars, because our team is not in top shape and all that. But as a Ghanaian, I'll always die for my country. But I will not watch the match because Black Star matches, I always suffer palpitation unnecessarily. But my prayer will be with the team. And once I hear noise in town and it's loud, then I'll come back and celebrate and go and sleep. I want to take caution. Yes. But if the noise turns out to be something small, I don't want to come out. But I pray for them and all that. We should build a team that will stand the test of time. I have said it and I'll repeat it. Growing up as a little boy, I saw football competition being organized at the district level, regional level, national level, the coach level. We selected players from all this and we had the best of players. What is happening now? I'm not seeing this. And we run short of quality players all the time. It shouldn't happen because there are a lot of talents in this country. Go to Nima, go to Mamobi, when people are playing, you will be amazed. There are a lot of them. I believe that the ministry should be able to look at these things again and see how we can get the best of players. Somebody like Eto, I'm told that he was discovered through this type of local games. And look at how Eto became. We have a lot of Adeti and Co. We got them through this small, group, programs and all that. What is happening now? We have a lot of talents, and please let us tap them and make the best use of them for the country. That is all that I can say.
Well, thank you so much, Doug. Stay with me. We have so much to talk about. So, but what are the gods telling you? I know you pour libation a lot. What are the gods telling you at least? What are the gods telling you at least?
As for the gods, they don't work on Wednesday. No, you do your work well, and then they support you. You don't do your work well, and that's it. So as for the gods, matters of this nature, they are relaxing. They are relaxing. Okay. But I hope and pray that we'll do well. But let us be serious about how we build the Black Stars And if my problem is that anytime we have tournaments like this, we tend to have a problem with the national team itself, players, if not players, with the management, the coaches and all that. When will this thing end? So that we get a team and then we get management all right, and then they play, and then they bring people like us back. I used to be a very strong football enthusiast.
Okay, now you're giving us the story. We now understand why you...
80s and 90s and all that. Okay. Watching European soccer, I could mention players, but look, following Black Star to a certain point, I advised myself that I don't want to die early. Even though I love my team. So I decided that when Black Stars are playing, I stay in my room. But when I hear a shout and it's loud in town, I come out and wave the flag and go away. Okay. I want them to bring me back to the public and then celebrate with them. Okay. So that's how it ought to be. Okay. Let me take permission to jump to my class and teach. I can't stay anymore.
Oh, Doc. All right. Thank you so much anyway for staying with us. I desperately wanted to hear your comment on the football. Before I even go to Honorable Lawyer, are there still for immigration purposes like this, are there still legal processes they can steal? Is there any appeal after appeal?
I am not conversant with the Canadian system. At least in Ghana, I mean, there are many layers of appeal. Assuming there's a case from the High Court, you lose, you appeal to the appeal court, you lose, you appeal to the Supreme Court. From what I've read, he filed this case at the federal court. It was refused. And then he appealed to their appeal court. So that means that he's been to court twice on this case. I am not certain whether there is a further appeal, but there should be, because most countries' legal systems have at least 2 layers of appeal. Yeah. There are hardly any issues where you're allowed to appeal only once. So I would say that even though I have not researched into it, I'm sure he may have another chance. But however, looking at all that has happened, if a judge on appeal is going to reverse, yes, because you need for a decision to be reversed on appeal, you need strong grounds. It's not based on emotions. Yeah. So that is why I think at this stage maybe some diplomatic channels would have to be used, explored. Okay. Yeah, oh yes, but I'm sure there'll be other games that may be played in Canada. I think the World Cup is spread across 3 countries: Mexico, USA, Canada. There may be other games. For all you know, the final may be played in Canada. The final will be in the US. It will be in US. Yes. Okay, but there may be
other games. Yeah.
Okay.
There may be other games.
Honorable, would you accept the invitation by Fifi to wrap this nicely in a freezer bag and put it in the freezer and thaw it later?
I'm very sad this morning. Yeah. Instead of talking about tactics, I mean, talking about goodwill messages, that beautiful message from the Vice President last night when she met the team, the way she rallied the team. Now, Partey issue has become a distraction, and that is attracting media attention more than the preparation of the team itself. That is why I'm very sad about the situation. But I also agree with my colleagues here that the further path to pursue, if there is any, is through diplomatic channels, because I'm very confident.
If it is true. Yeah. If it is true, all these things that have happened, what kind of diplomacy can be used?
Yeah, I mean,
you use diplomacy for somebody.
Never. Let us try, and I'm sure Black Stars will go all the way. But Emefa, what I want to say is, this is a lesson to all of us. You know, when you are filling these forms, there are a number of questions. For instance, US, they have where you have to even provide date of birth of your father. So some of us whose dads are deceased, some 10, 15, 20 years ago, and they were about 90 before passing on. I mean, you know, you may not even have, but whatever information you provide, it should be consistent with it. These are some of the most important things they look for on your application. When there is any semblance of deception, it raises red flags. So Partey's issue is no secret. Everybody knows. Should have been yes and explain. Because the presumption of innocence until proven guilty by a competent court of jurisdiction applies in almost all jurisdictions. So there could have been strong defense to it. Yes, it's facing trial, but this is the situation. And the fact that even in UK, they've given that extended period to commence trial. That is 1 year away, June 2027. In fact, when he was charged, it's taken about 6 months. It's not been tried. So it tells you probably, maybe he also has a strong defense. He's pleaded not guilty. So those things could have applied, and probably he would have gotten it. So it's a sad day. He's not part of the team. And I still think in his absence, there are equally competent replacements for the team. Let us now rally behind the team and put Partey's issue in the freezer. After this match, we will look at the way forward.
Okay. There's something small I want to say in relation to today's game. And this one is too honorable and his people. Black Stars is Black Stars of Ghana. We are all supporting Black Stars. They should avoid this needless my papa, but that is why Black Stars is scoring. If they start that,
if they've not scored yet, Ghana or Kojo. You are anticipating. Okay.
FIFA ended discourse without
why
tainting it with political.
Fifi just put a matter in the freezer. He just did.
He's talking about politics. There's something more I also want to say.
What?
I've observed something which I say it with a lot of restraint.
And you restrain yourself.
No, but I still want to talk about it.
Yeah?
One, because of the person involved as an individual, and two, because of the position the person occupies.
Who are we talking about?
The Chief Justice.
The Chief Justice is not on my desk.
Oh, the Chief Justice my Honorable was making reference to the Chief Justice at the the Vice President making a statement to the the Black Stars yesterday. I do not know whether the Chief Justice was there on his own or he was there as part of the entourage of the Vice President. You see, if you have a problem with Bagbin, no matter your issues with Bagbin, Bagbin carries himself as the leader of the legislative arm of our country.
In essence.
And you expect same from our Chief Justice. How yesterday he was presented, for me, it was a bit off. You know, recently people have been having conversations on social media about how the Chief Justice is seen at events that are NDC related. You may say that, well, he's a Ghanaian, he can attend funerals. Allow me.
Is it the case that MP has an event and invited him?
The Chief Justice was seen as part of the entourage or the delegation of the Vice President.
No. If I could respond.
No. Okay, so the lawyer is here. Lawyer, please respond and let me go to... I have a pressing issue because sanitation in our country is valuable.
I agree with you, but
what's the concern? That he looks like he's part of an entourage?
Entourage of the Vice President.
Okay,
I'm happy with you.
Really?
Let me hear the lawyer.
It looks like, but it wasn't.
I am very fair. I will not proceed to say that he was part of the Vice President entourage without evidence. But anyone who observed what happened yesterday will be right to conclude that why is the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana presented as part of the entourage?
Let me ask a question to be fair. What is wrong if he's an entourage of the Vice President?
There should be a difference between the executive, the legislature, and also the judiciary. If an impression is created that now the head of the judicial arm of government is almost like part of the executive arm.
Because he was part of an entourage?
Oh, I am telling you, this is not an exceptional thing. There are incidents that have happened over a period, a pattern, where people have expressed concern. Why is he almost at functions, NDC-related functions?
But it's NDC that's in government, and they are likely to organize more events than the opposition.
These are social functions I'm referring to. Emefa.
Is the word
social functions.
Is the World Cup and
social functions?
Okay, I'll give the time to lawyer wanted to respond. No, it won't be fair to do comparison. It won't be fair to do comparison.
I want to debunk.
Who is even a former member of parliament on the NDC ticket is attending the World Cup? He will be there as leader of the legislature.
Let me quickly debunk this. You've said this World Cup is for the people of Ghana and the government of the Republic. When we talk about the government of the Republic, you have the executive, you have the legislature, you have the executive. So if Black Stars, national team, national duty, and even all the heads of the various arms of government are in Canada, they will together visit the team. It does not. No.
Justice must not be done. It must be done, manifestly done. And you should not put yourself in a situation where people read meanings into your actions when you are head of the judicial arm of government.
This is a national assignment. That
national assignment.
No. So assuming Chief Justice.
I said there's nothing wrong
Chief Justice
with the Chief Justice showing up.
Chief Justice is in Canada.
Independence of the judiciary.
So what he should have gone individually. Let me hear. I want to hear Kwame on this. Honorable, let me hear Honorable. Let me hear Kwame on this.
About the independence of the judiciary.
Please give the time to.
It is not.
I understand where Fifi may be coming from, but. Let me clarify this legally, and it will put our minds at rest. If you look at the Constitution, the four most powerful people in the country, if the President is absent, it's the Vice. If the Vice is absent, the Speaker of Parliament. If the Speaker of Parliament, it's the Chief Justice. You see, so the Chief Justice is a potential acting President. So if the Vice President is going to Canada to boost the morale of the players, I don't think there's anything wrong with the Chief Justice going along. And for all you know, the Chief Justice may even be on leave. With the previous removal of the Chief Justice, we all got to know the ins and outs of the leave process and traveling and all that. If he's traveling with the Vice President in order to be the Black Stars, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And even in my own experience, when I was active in politics, I was invited to almost every state function. And you had people from all the political parties there. You had the Chief Justice there. The cameras may not have been trained on him. You had other judges there. You understand me? The judiciary is part of the government because the government is made up of the legislature, the executive, and the
Fifi says, Fifi's concern is the fact that it's not a one-off. It is almost looking as though he's quite present in most social gatherings. Do you want to get to
not state functions? I don't know about social gatherings.
I'm talking about social events.
No, but this is a state function. This is a state function.
So if this is not something that is in isolation. If it was a one-off thing, I'm not sure people will be raising issues.
Beyond this one, which other ones did you not feel comfortable about?
The conversation is already out there about how he has been.
Okay, well, maybe, but being a lawyer for many years.
Let me even proceed further.
I don't think that
I do not want to get into speculation. But now the former Chief Justice who was part of the Council of State.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
She has resigned.
Yes.
Yeah.
And from what Joy reported, this actually happened somewhere last year. She's not been replaced. Even though the Constitution, in chapter 9, I think 89, makes it a responsibility on the president to appoint a former chief justice.
But her resignation had not been accepted.
It had not been accepted. It had not been accepted. It's just recently. It was recently that the president accepted it.
It was accepted.
Why has he not acted on that?
It was just some few days.
No,
it says that.
But it was few days. This happened last year.
No, his acceptance. His acceptance. Just to be clear. We reported it. Hang on. He referenced my joy, and I'm sitting here boldly.
Yes.
I've not left. Fifi, I'm saying that we reported that the notice of resignation was earlier, but the president accepted the resignation just recently.
When?
The very time you saw that reportage was when we indicated that he had accepted the resignation.
Wait a minute.
So
what was he waiting for? From September last year to date?
I have to accept the resignation first before I can take act. If you look at the constitution as well, it says that he needs to select a person in consultation with Parliament as well. Yeah. So it's not just that I have accepted and I can just choose another Chief Justice. I think you've got to give the president that
the delay he's talking about.
No, let's go to the other matters. I have to show you this matter.
The result of the Council of State themselves asking the president to hold on whilst they engage her.
As for that inside story, I didn't report that story. But first of all, guys, let me have your attention on this, because even in the excitement and the jubilation and the World Cup feeling, there's a matter that is hanging around our neck. It's almost like an albatross. Our landfills in this country are either too full, getting too full, we're not managing it well. Let me show you one that is a problem around McCarthy Hill landfill site. Same would be for the Uti landfill as well. Take a look.
It's not as if they are not allowing us to dump. This is the only place we have. And most of us come from Teshi, Nungwa, Lashibi, and all those places. And this place is choked as a result of everyone trooping in here, you see. And it's because there's no conventional dumping site for these Abubuya operators. And it has been like this for a very long time. And I am seeing that the government doesn't prioritize sanitation at all. Despite
too much. Because if you come here, no, you suffer too much. So now we have customers boiler there for the people house. We no go feel take the boiler proper. Because it's the traffic, it be only here the work. So when he come here, no.
What was say? Baya 2 weeks in the Sia near and the Kuraye. Learning and was a member 12 1 Namumbra Hambavia. Moon and China Mona Arasar Honum. Learning Quasa Quapimo, which I joins Honum. Auntie Yesra Bang Yania Hunto. Yesra Bang say one ban in Imbrasi in Bavia. Now, who they because Yantiasi.
In protest over unresolved grievances, the frustrated waste collectors set tires ablaze at the waste disposal site in a demonstration. The act, they explained, was intended to draw the urgent attention of authorities to the deteriorating conditions at the landfill. Chairman of the Sanitation Tricycle Riders Association, Salim Mohammed, blamed the crisis on repeated breakdowns of compacting and leveling equipment at the landfill. He said the faulty machines has left waste piling up with no way to manage it properly.
So we sent our message to the mayor, and the mayor involved in, and he himself came in and come and see the thing that we are facing here. So he talked to the contractor, and he told him that what is going on here is not what he likes. So the contractor also led him an assurance. They give him 10 days for you to make sure that to deliver the problem that we are facing here. But after Mayor gone, say now the problem is almost west. And what they are saying, their money is with the government for almost 2 years, which the government have not paid them. And aside that, because of the money issue, they can't get a new machine for them to operate.
The riders are appealing to the Asante-Hene to personally intervene. Meanwhile, one waste collector, Bafo Bempa, warned that the operators would be forced to dump waste at unauthorized points across the Oti landfill site if officials failed to act.
Otumfor Nana Asante-Kin also sent a delegate. They too came here, and we don't think the message was being sent to Nana, because ever since these delegates came in here, the problem has been worsening up. Please and please, as we are saying joke on joke, today no Aboboya is going to sleep on landfill here. We are going to offload wherever we are parked. We are going to offload. Nobody can stop us today.
Francis Mensah's report for Joy News.
Fishing is not just exclusive to us here in Accra. In fact, even worse in Kumasi. Honorable, let me start with you. How's the situation in your region?
Similar. And I'm very disappointed. We are still talking about landfills and dumping sites. Emefa, in waste management, Ghana has relied on two principles that are archaic, outmoded, and are ineffective. These principles are: one, not in my backyard syndrome, and also two, out of sight, out of mind. In waste management, these two principles are outdated. What that means is, when we talk about waste management, people are looking at once they take them out of the house, out of their residential area, and once it is not in their backyard, they don't care about that. And that is the devastating effect of not in my backyard and out of mind, out of sight, out of mind principle of managing waste. So for how long can we continue to do this? At the time countries are talking about zero waste, where waste should be seen as a resource rather than something to be dumped. Emefa, if you go to these dumping sites, that is a huge source of methane gas, and methane is 80 times more potent than carbon dioxide in terms of global warming effects. So at the time Ghana is pursuing its nationally determined contributions, reducing carbon emissions, and also building adaptation and resilience against climate change, then our landfill size continue to grow and grow and grow. It is about time, as a country, we took drastic measures to deal with this situation. Last year, I was fortunate to be part of a delegation going around the country and visited some of the integrated recycling centers being built by Zoom Lion across the country. And I was excited the way recycling was going on, the way organic waste were being converted to compost and the rest. So this is the way to go. I think we should shift focus from landfill site, because the point is no community, nobody wants to host landfill sites in their community. So it will come a time that you will not have any place to site a landfill site. In my constituency, Berekum West, we are having this battle. There is only one landfill site, huge one, that serves both Berekum East and West, and is located at Abbey. And the people are up in arms with the authorities that they are not going to continue to accept waste from other communities. Precisely so. So we should be shifting from dumping to now trying to create value out of the waste through recycling, through composting, and the rest. Emefa, the health implications of these things cannot be underestimated. And I think these are some of the issues as a country we should come together, devoid of politics, to deal with the situation once and for all. So these Aboboya are lining up. In the event they are not able to offload, where are they taking them to? And as their leader said, there is that risk. People will be picking and will not be going to even the designated landfill sites. They will be dumping them elsewhere, and the health consequences thereof are there for all of us. So we need to step up our education. And 2, government should start investing. Let us be very honest. Just last week, the Minister for Local Government and Rural Development talked about this issue. You know, in the past few months or the past year, the activities of Zoom Lion have scaled down. District assemblies, municipal authorities, metros are now playing greater role in the waste management. But it appears they're not getting hold of it. It is about time the whip is cracked to ensure MMDAs are actually getting hold of the waste situation. So this brings to the fore, once again, the conversation of the integrated recycling plants, integrated waste management systems that Zoom Lion started scaling up across the country. Now I see the shift is focusing to other countries where we need. It is not only about where you dump them, but it is also about creating value. Otherwise, there will be a time you have no place to dump, even if the landfill sites exist. So it is about time we go on the zero waste direction, recycling, composting, creating energy from waste and the rest, and move from dumping, which is the biggest, for me, source of methane production, and which is the most potent greenhouse gas. So it's a very sad spectacle to
If you look
see.
at the 17 landfills that were, made available in this country for refuse collection or burying, you realize that in the 2000s when they built those 17 landfills, they got full in about 10 years.
That's why landfill sites,
Which means that
it's a non-starter.
It just served a purpose very short while. So government in government out, they have seen the problem, and it looks as if we may have to shift, as you have said.
Yeah.
But today, in the interim, the situation is staring us in the face. What's the immediate steps?
So in a short term, that's the complaint about frequent breakdowns of compacting machines to create some space to accommodate. That is what they should continue to do. Create space, dump them, but in a medium, long term, we should move away completely from landfill sites, because no community would want waste from other areas to be dumped at their backyard. So what do? If you take, say, 1 ton of waste and you start disaggregating, you have a component that is recyclable. You have component that is organic and food waste. So the recyclables, you recycle to create new products. Organic and food waste, you compost, which is, the most nutritious source of fertilizers, if you want to put it. At the time, we are campaigning strongly against chemical fertilizers that have consequences on river bodies and aquaculture. Chemical fertilizers will leach into water bodies, create all sorts of weed growth, and also chemicals poisonous to aquatic life. So it's about time we concentrate on huge organic and food waste we have for compost for our agriculture. And at the same time, we have components that we can use to create energy, waste to energy. So by the time you use all these portions, there will be very little or nothing left to go and bury. And that is the modern way of managing waste. It is no longer about collecting them from one point out of your yard and you think it is okay. And that is what is staring us in the face.
So, lawyer, listening to the sector minister just in a few days, he mentioned that a little over 4,400 tons of solid waste is generated a day, which means 1.6 million annually. But he goes on quickly to say that financing is the problem.
That's why private sector is key. And that's why some of us were of the view that no matter challenges with Zoom Lion, I mean, he was...
What will private-public sector look like, that partnership? What will it look like for us to be able to solve this problem?
Yeah, we're looking at two options. There's an option called polluter pays principle.
Let me make the notes and let me hear our lawyer. You can make the notes down for me and let me hear a lawyer. But this...
You know, what does a minister mean by financing as a problem? Is it that the state does not have adequate resources to fix the compacting? Because
and the technology.
If you look at the OT, they said the compacting machine has broken down. The facility has reached maximum capacity.
Yes.
If you look at McCarthy Hill, the rains have destroyed the access road, and there's a closure of alternative municipal transfer sites. You know, when it comes to health and sanitation, unfortunately, with all the good things that the current government is doing, it looks as if there wasn't really a plan. Shortage of financing to do what? What is more important than health and sanitation? You understand me? If you are talking about solutions, I would say that Honorable has spoken about recycling. I did some quick research, and the 4 countries with the best waste system, Germany, Sweden, Japan, South Korea, it's totally based on recycling ability. You see, this waste issue, we can't leave it just in the hands of the state. However, the state has to lead the way. The citizenry also has a large part to play. For example, in my domestic circumstances, we do not throw organic waste away. Anything we can use in our back garden, we use in our back garden. Glass bottles that we can keep for future use, we keep it at home. We even segregate our plastics, because there are people who collect the pure water plastics. There are people who collect the plastic bottles also. We don't throw those away. So I would say that there should be more education on waste disposal by households as well. For example, where I am, the waste we churn out, it's quite minimal, because we manage to use everything. There are people that we give these bottles away. Sometimes they sell it. They have...
His counter-argument is that urbanization, where the population keeps growing, so even as we don't generate...
But with population growth, go to other countries, especially the European countries. You see everywhere you go. You see, most of the time, you see 3 black bins. You have here bottles, you have here plastics, you have here recyclables, you have here
That's arbitrary. This one you are saying is arbitrary.
Nothing should stop us.
A few people in Ghana attempt to do that. And
even in Ghana, recently, I wouldn't want to do free advert for a company, so I'll not mention their name. Recently, on my way to work, I saw a bright pink, small aboboya kind of thing, like what the Bola people have. But it was totally covered. And there was a name there, a private company, which was actually offering waste disposal services. And it was boldly there that they also do recycling and all that. So with the citizenry, we can also look into this. And yes, urbanization may be a contributory factor, but I don't think this should be the root cause of what is happening. I mean, it's out there. For the McCarthy Hill, they said rains destroying the access road.
Yeah.
I use that route all the time. And from seeing your video, I was surprised because I was actually there. I saw this line of aboboya at the McCarthy Hill when I was coming from court in the central region. And I was like, hey, is there an aboboya convention? Is there... I honestly didn't know that this was the issue.
Yeah?
You see?
That's the issue.
And driving all the way from court in the central region, when you get to, let's say, from just after Akosua, you understand me? The roads have been destroyed totally. The Tuba road is a mess. And there's so much sediment rushing down from the mountains because the mountains have been chopped up. People have built have built on it. All these mudslides and all that, destroying the roads everywhere. You understand me? And this rain destroyed by the access road around McCarthy Hill, I'm sure it has to do with unapproved buildings everywhere and all that. So in the immediate term, the main oversight body for waste and sanitation issues is the Ministry of Environment and the EPA working hand in hand. It is here that it is a rain that has destroyed the access road. We need to quickly have those
fix that road.
Fixed. That is it. Whilst we look for a long-term plan, fix those roads, look for alternative landfill sites, and then also promote recycling and reward the citizenry and recycling companies for carrying out this recycling. It's a good avenue for making money. You see, I read that one of the countries relies on waste to generate electricity. I think it was Sweden or one of those places. And they actually import, it's here, Sweden. They actually import waste from other countries to generate electricity.
Can they import from us? We have enough waste.
That's also a good idea. Yeah. So that means that some people have gone so far in their waste disposal efforts that they even import. And these resources are on the internet. And they didn't have to go anywhere to, you see. So our officials should look at this. The citizens should look at this. And let's find a permanent, because we're in a rainy season. And this is what usually breeds all this cholera and other things. So we have to be careful. We may think it's far from us, but we have to be careful. Fix the roads.
So, Fifi, Honorable here believes that landfills should not even be an option. But if they must be, it must be like the last resort for us. Apart from the funding, which is the matter, earlier this week, we reported on a situation at the Densu River. In fact, the Densu River serves nearly, some people argue 50. Some people also say, in fact, 80% of our drinking water here in Accra. Now, the challenge is that many unauthorized buildings or constructions have happened along the Densu River bank. In fact, an unauthorized landfill is sitting in the middle of the community around Waja. And before you can even construct an area or identify an area as a landfill, you need a permit from an assembly. And that landfill, together with a building that sits in the middle of a waterway. So what has happened is that there's a blockade. The people living in that area as well have used that river as a source of dumping. They just go and dump it there because, of course, it's not moving, and the landfill is also illegal and it is so full. So beyond the funding, how much human element do you see in our sanitation issue in this country?
Thank you. Human beings, if you give us the opportunity without any regulation, you can be rest assured that we'll not do the right thing. It's human. And that's why there are laws. And that's why there are people who have a responsibility to ensure that those laws do work. Of course, it affects all of us, so there's some responsibility on us as individuals to do the right thing. But you know very well that not everyone will do the right thing. So it is important that when people are not doing the right thing, the laws apply, and we do not have to get to this level where we come and sit on television in the morning to talk about refuse, to talk about the bad environment we are creating as a country. I like the bit where Council was talking about the need for education. It's important. We have to go ahead.
What kind of education is this?
Yeah.
Like, what kind of education? I've heard education a lot of times, but I'm confused in my mind. What kind of education?
Let me proceed. It's good to educate people, just like you talk about, letting the public understand the effect of doing some of these things. But the truth is that education won't solve the problem. Because we know that if you put your refuse in a gutter, and when it rains, It will create a problem for us. But we'll do it anyway. So why are we not making sure that the laws we have in our statute books apply? You know, my major problem in this country is unemployment. And recently the Statistical Service came out to say that if you meet 2 youth in Accra, one of them is not working. One of the ways we can create employment is actually making sure that we have some of these unemployed youth report people who are doing some of these things. And the people will pay. And that money, when raised, will be used to pay them. Yeah. Because we'll talk about the fact that there's no money to pay them, so we will not give them the employment. But we can actually get them to work, the money raised out of it, by punishing the people who do some of these things, and the money will be used to pay them. Another worrying thing, I didn't want to sound political, but I couldn't also let this slip. When I was watching the clip you played, the people were saying, I think the Ashanti region one, yes, road to four and an anamfa and NC form and all that. You know, recently the strike action that happened at the Konfanochi Teaching Hospital, he had to take the intervention of Utumfo to get the doctors back. Today, baller. We want Utumfo to intervene.
The people are just very cultural, are they not? Is it surprising if you see somebody in...
What is the district assemblies doing? What are the district assemblies? What are they doing?
You saw the mayor in the video, did you know?
Has he solved the problem? The regional minister, what is he doing? The local government minister, what is he doing? And bear in mind,
they call Otumfo in the contest. They said Otumfo sent delegation to the place, and they believe the delegation did not carry the message back to Malaysia. It is on that
I will still proceed on my argument.
So they said there was a contest.
The point I am making is that Otumfo, yes, he has a responsibility. Yes, he's respected. Yes, he has demonstrated that when he intervenes, he gets results. And that is the reason why the people are calling on him to intervene. Why are they not calling on the local assemblies? Why are they not calling on the regional minister? Why have they failed or have they refused to call on the minister for local government? Because they know when they complain to these persons, there will not be results. They rather trust Otumfo to intervene, and that will give them result. And for me, that's a problem. I'm not saying that Otumfo must not work. I'm not saying Otumfo must not act. He has demonstrated that his intervention will give us result. Bear in mind, we don't pay taxes to Otumfo. None of our taxes is sent to Otumfo. But the district chief executives, the municipal chief executives, the regional minister beyond TikTok must get to work and give us results.
I'm happy to report to you that as the anchor for the 12 o'clock bulletin, my colleagues in the Ashanti region, Emmanuel Berekum, Nana Boakye-Adom, Clinton Yeboah, and the others, have reported to me many things that the mayor in Kumasi is doing, and you see the resistance of the very people who are calling on Otumfo. What is our attitude towards a politician or a politically exposed person? I've seen the mayor attempt to demolish. I've seen the mayor almost on his knees trying to get people off the shoulders of the road. And there was resistance. Is it a matter of because a person is politically exposed, or the people culturally just are inclined to listen to the Otumfo?
Emefa, I have no reason to doubt what you're saying. And we should also not assume that whatever you do as a leader will get the backing of the people. And leadership also requires that you take decisions which the people may not ordinarily find it appealing. But if you are convinced about that decision,
you should not be stopped. You still should persevere. You should go ahead and make sure, and I'm sure when the result comes, the people will say that, oh, okay, there was a good reason for the action that was taken by them.
I'm reporting to you again. I'm not a politician. I don't live in Kumasi, but I can work with the reports that comes. I'm saying that whilst we're demanding of people who have been appointed, our attitude, that's the question I'm asking, because the person who's been appointed is on ground. And you can see the resistance from us as people. Are they using the other route they think is a more softer route?
You know, I do not have information as to the real challenges you are referring to. But the point I am making is that despite the challenges, it must not stop you from doing your job.
Okay.
If you say that there are challenges, well, because of the challenges, well, what can I do? Fold your arms? Quit? No, he's still at post. He's still working. I believe that just as you are indicating, there's a need for us also to talk about it and then calling on the people to make sure that at least they give the mayor or the chief executive the opportunity to work. Don't you face challenges in your job?
Yeah.
You do.
When I say time up,
then you still...
I want to move to the other. You don't want to. Yeah?
But you still have to make sure that the show runs.
Yeah.
So saying that there are problems does not mean that as chief executive, you will not do your job. And why do you think that the people will prefer to go to a Tumfor rather than the person who has been mandated to do the job? Yes, I agree that the political class has so far, we've not clothed ourselves in glory. How people perceive politicians. And of course, I also believe that politicians generally have not helped. And you know why? Today, if the chief executive decides to act, you will find constituency executive, polling station executives, party members, party financiers, who come in and say, yatu Obama no mono kotina ho, ye adwuma ye yakra ho se no, me dan kra mesi kro so oba bebu no. These are challenges, genuine challenges they face. But of course, you cannot go and tell Otum for Matu Obama no so bebu me dan. If you are doing the wrong thing, he will make sure that the wrong thing does not continue. So yes, there may be issues. Yes, there may be challenges. But I also believe that if you have been given the responsibility, you must discharge it, no matter the challenges you face. On the debate about whether we'll continue with landfill sites or not, Honorable, you have a duty. You came to us and told us that all the problems we have as Ghanaians, give us the mandate, we shall solve them. The ball is in your court. Kick it.
That's a gentle reminder, Honorable. Let me start with you, lawyer, on the matter of Ken Ofori-Atta, his residency that's been granted him, and what it matters to the ongoing case the OSP is pursuing in this country. What does it mean, really? A lot of people seem to get some confusion. Let's get some legal education. If you're facing a certain trial or charges, whatever, in your home country, and you are granted a permanent residency in another country, does it insulate you from the process already?
No, it does not. It does not at all. The permanent residency he's been given from my region is akin to a green card, which is more like a right of abode. That means you can stay here with unlimited time, unlike a visa where you have to leave at the end of a certain period. However, as far as I'm concerned, he's still a Ghanaian citizen. Therefore, extradition processes still apply to him. He can still be called here to answer for the 78 charges that have been leveled against him, you see. So this permanent residency does not have any bearing on the ability for the case to go forward. He can even be tried in absentia. And as I understand, extradition processes have already started. This permanency residence issue is a totally separate issue. It's about his immigration status. Because we heard that his visa expired in February this year, or something like that. When your visa expires, you have to leave the country, or you will be deported. And his reason for being in the country was for health reasons. So if he was able to prove that he has not finished the health procedures that he was there to conduct, then the US government is entitled to grant him an extension, including an indefinite extension due to his health circumstances. But this does not affect the case at all. Okay. I realized that there was a statement by his lawyers that
yes,
the court said that the charges are not credible. Or I have not seen the court notes from the particular...
I'll just read to you the statements from his lawyers. Menka Premo, Sister Kenoforiata's green card petition has been granted by U.S. immigration courts. The courts had evidence relating to actions taken by Ghana's Office of the Special Prosecutor, including the OSP's earlier decision to declare Mr. Oforiata a fugitive from justice at a time when he was reportedly undergoing medical treatment in the United States and while his lawyers remain in communication with investigators in Ghana. The court finds the criminal charges in Ghana not credible. However, the court's ruling was made within the context of the United States immigration proceedings. The court's decision was focused on whether Mr. Oforiata met the legal requirements for adjustment or status. I'll be honest, when I read this, I was confused too.
Yeah.
I don't know what they are addressing. The green card matter. I don't know. You are a lawyer. You can sweat it better for me.
I see a little bit of political undertones there. And if the court's ruling was within the context of immigration issues, in law, there's what you call the ratio. That's a particular principle or the main issue that the court ruled on. And they admit that it was about immigration issues.
Yeah.
Your visa has expired. You are not feeling well. You are conducting further health checks. So we need to grant you. However, this thing about the thing not being credible, there's something called an obiter in law, which means that the ruling may speak about immigration, but the judge in delivering his ruling in open court may have said that we do not find the charges credible, only because with the documents presented to the court, because in most cases, unless it's an ex parte application, there are at least two sides in a case. So when his lawyers presented it to the court for the extension, the state immigration lawyers of the U.S. would probably have also presented some documents opposing his stay, because the legal system in most places is adversarial. Whether you agree with your opponent or not, you need to present the opposite side for the benefit of the judge, so that the judge will be able to weigh both. So it's likely that they may have
just
presented...
a quick one, probably, so you take on and then you help us understand. Is it not because also there's an extradition
request
to bring him in? So that is when they will raise issues about what really is the basis for the extradition request.
But will an immigration court listen to an extradition process?
Then the court will say that if you are asking us to bring this person in, on what basis are you making that request? Is it grounded in law, evidence enough to back the claim that, yes, indeed, this person must be brought home to come and answer questions?
The reason why these questions are difficult to ask because you're not representing the person as well. You're not the Attorney General. But immigration court, will they listen to an extradition process?
They will not listen to it.
Yeah.
But you know that in opposing his application for the green card,
yeah,
the U.S. state lawyer, his default position is to oppose it. Or sometimes they can just go all out and say, we agree. So they may have presented some facts to the court. Because from what I've read, the OSP or any Ghanaian legal official was not part of the case. It was between Mr. Furiata's lawyers and the U.S. state lawyers as an immigration issue. So if anything, the U.S. state lawyers may have presented documents that we cannot allow him to stay because there's this extradition.
Which I recall, we reported that the judge had requested that he would see the extradition request. We recall. As to whether this particular extradition document was presented to the immigration judge, we don't know yet. But my ambiguity in the which I'm seeking clarity on is a statement by his lawyers that the immigration court seemed to have heard the evidence on extradition and does not find it credible. So that's the little confusion. But moving forward, what does this mean to, and I hear the legal part if I come to Honorable and I come to Fifi. What does this mean to the ongoing case? The OSP, the Attorney General, everybody, every stakeholder that's interested in this matter?
It does not affect the case at all because he is still a Ghanaian citizen. You see, he has not renounced his citizenship. And even if he was to renounce his citizenship, I don't think the U.S. would automatically grant him. I mean, he would be stateless. However, once he has not renounced his citizenship, or once the time he committed the alleged offense, he was a Ghanaian citizen, then the extradition processes have to go on. He being granted the residency does not affect the processes at all. It does not.
Does the type of residency even matter?
It doesn't
matter at all.
Because assuming he was even a dual U.S. Ghanaian citizen, once he has a Ghanaian citizenship, he can be extradited.
Okay. Honorable.
Emefa, is it not mind-boggling why still Ken is claiming innocence and still doesn't want to come to Ghana, going every length and breadth to avoid coming to Ghana? And let us be clear, the hearing that took place was an immigration hearing. It's got nothing to do with the extradition processes underway. And the OSP has also issued a statement assuring Ghanaians that they still pursuing the case through the Attorney General to ensure that he is brought home to answer charges. I think it is in his interest to be in Ghana to help us unravel these allegations that have been leveled against.
Well, why do you think it is in interest? You're the one accusing him, so that you have the whole duty.
It is in his interest and in the interest of the state anyway. And I'm very sure in the event all processes fail, there's likelihood he will be tried in absentia. And if he doesn't come down, the verdict will still come out, and we will all see. You see, it is very important for each and every one of us. Fifi, you served in the previous regime, and you were here after the government was out of office. And I don't know, probably you might have even been called to clarify one or two things. If you haven't been called, it means you have nothing to clarify. I mean, a lot of people have been invited to clarify one or two issues and go home peacefully. So once you enter public service, these are some of the issues. And let us be clear, allegations do not constitute conviction itself. So once allegations are made, it does not necessarily lead to conviction. So it's important we draw the line. And it is also important that when allegations are made against you, you clear yourself out of
not everybody that wants to.
So if you don't want to do, that is why it becomes very difficult, because after serving the country for a number of years and government changes and everybody decides to move out of the country and refuse to come and account for their stewardship, where will we be? And I'm very sure that the U.S. authorities will help us to bring Ken back. Do you know that Emefa, in the last 5 years, about 29 Ghanaians have been extradited to the United States? And probably only one has been extradited to Ghana. And there are there are a number of cases. There are a number of cases pending. A number of cases pending for Ghanaians to be extradited to United States. And I think in the interest of mutual cooperation for justice and to protect the public purse, we should have Ken here. And I'll be surprised if Ken is not brought here and Ghanaians are being extradited to go and face charges in the United States. It will be quite a difficult spectacle to behold. So,
we all know the consequences of being tried in absentia. There are certain rights that if you were tried in person, you would have enjoyed. But if you are tried in absentia, you really would have to depend solely on your lawyers and what they will do to defend you in court. So him knowing this, if he doesn't come, they want to try him in absentia. Why are you concerned about it?
The case is a test case that probably...
At least she started attending court here in Ghana.
She has now come and challenging the conviction. So Ken should take a cue.
to be here. She didn't come on her own.
Ken, yes, that's what we're saying. So Ken should take a cue, even if he fails to come, or the extradition processes at this stage continue to drag on. The prosecutors could go ahead to press their charges, and the trial will be done in his absence. If conviction is secured, maybe one day, just like Sedenam is here, he will be here to face the consequences. So for me, because he's been claiming innocent for all this while, it's important he comes. And the bit about the U.S. court doubting the credibility of charges here, I think this is clear. Our lawyer is here and he will tell us that the charges preferred against Ken, it is not for any other court anywhere in this world to determine whether they are credible or not. It is for Ghanaian courts to determine whether he is guilty of those offenses or not. So, as indicated, if any opinion was expressed, yes, those opinions could be expressed, but they do not impact in any way on the charges that are being preferred against the former finance minister.
Okay. Let me come to you, Fifi. How is this whole... First of all, do you want Ken here in Ghana? Well, would you like that he'll be here in Ghana?
So let me start by saying that Ken is a Ghanaian. Ken is an individual of age. He has the right to decide what he believes is in his best interest. What I feel, what I believe in.
It matters. That's why you are in this chair. What you feel and what you...
It matters.
When you had an opinion about what happens in Kumasi, you not isolate yourself.
But I am only making the point that my opinion...
That's acknowledged. But would you like that?
It's inconsequential.
Mimi.
As to what
I'm interested.
Do.
What I would do with
He's an older man. He's even older than me. I cannot be the one to tell him, hey, Ken, come here or do not.
No. You're not forcing. I'm interested in what you think. What do you think?
So what I think is, I'll share that with you.
I think that anyone who has served in government, anyone who has played a role, anyone who has given state resources to dispense, you must account for it. And if government is of the view that you must answer questions, nothing should stop government from proceeding on that. And I believe government must discharge that responsibility. The Attorney General, Article 88, has given him the power to prosecute. Of course, he's now fighting with the OSP as to whether the OSP can even prefer charges against people without his authorization and all that. Needless, therefore, which I do not see how that will help us. But let me proceed on where Derek started from, that it will be in the interest of the Attorney General, of Ken Ofori-Atta, to be here. I'm like I said, what I think, what Kwame or Derek, how he feels, it makes no difference. It is Ken Ofori-Atta, his decision as to what he believes it is in interest.
Is it a good decision or not?
Allow me to proceed. Thank you.
Because we're able to tell those who
when you serve public office, do you still have that right to take a decision for yourself?
You are still an individual. You still have your liberties. Your fundamental human rights are not taken away from you. The mere fact that you've served in public office.
Surely that's not what I mean.
Yes.
I'm not talking about that. I'm
the
talking
Attorney
about,
General.
should we leave it to you whether you want to come and answer or not?
Ofori-Atta appears tomorrow morning, he has the right to say that, I won't say anything.
Of course.
He has the right to remain silent. So why is government thinking that it is the responsibility of Ken Ofori-Atta to come and help them to prosecute their case? He has no responsibility to help you in prosecuting your case. You have a case against him. The burden is on you to prove your case beyond reasonable doubt. It is not a responsibility of Ken Ofori-Atta to help you in prosecuting your case. So why are they acting as though, why is Ken Ofori-Atta not helping us to prosecute our case?
Is that what they're doing?
That's what they're asking.
If you follow the case tracker on the OSP's page, it will tell you that February 2026, it gives an update on both Ken Ofori-Atta and Ernest Darko Akore. Now, in respect of Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta, the Department of Justice confirmed receipt of the extradition packet and indicated that the summons and the charge sheet have been transmitted to him, with immigration violations and extradition process or proceedings currently pending against him in the United States. So if I want to go by this, it suggests to me that stakeholders who are prosecuting this matter are not sitting down and asking him to come. They're doing what they have to do. Or lawyer, am I right to feel that? Okay.
They should go ahead and prosecute their case. Nothing stops them from going ahead. Indeed, I've heard Frank Davis, lawyer for Ken Ofori-Atta, who has said that they are available, they are in constant communication with the OSP, and any service against their client, they are prepared to cooperate. So they should go ahead and prosecute him and not let it look as though... But you see, with all this happening, I think there's something, a certain signal it gives you. You know, this government, instead of prosecuting offenders, rather seem to be creating a certain impression of former government officials as though they are criminals. If they are criminals, prosecute them in court. It is not the usual press conferences, political commentary.
When was the last time you saw a press conference? I'm just wondering. because I don't see any lawyer going to court if they don't have a strong conviction in the case.
Is it not the Attorney General who came and told us that the Dubois has bought 28 houses at one place? And he went to court and that did not find its way in the affidavit submitted to court. Look at the embarrassment he created for the man. The hatred he created for Dubois. That he's bought several houses with state funds. He only went to court and that did not find its way in the document he presented to court. How fair is that? Article 23 of our Constitution requires administrative bodies to be fair to all manner of people. The fact that you suspect somebody to have done something wrong, it does not give you the right to also create such a negative impression about the person. You have the right to prosecute the person. Go ahead and prosecute him. But do not create a demon of him to the public. You know all that they want to do? Get Akufo-Addo to Ghana. Take cameras to the airport. Film him. Put him in handcuff. Show it to everybody.
Who will take the cameras?
Oh, government.
Really?
They will even call you.
No, my job is to report what is happening. And I'm happy to report. Yes. Why would I not? Okay.
So their real motive, for me, I think that their real motive is to embarrass Akufo-Addo, not to prosecute him. Because if they do want to prosecute him, I think that nothing stops them. This whole talk, oh, this person, this person, that, you have a duty. And Akufo-Addo is not your witness. Go ahead and do what is expected of you.
All right. You all have been an amazing guest this morning. Last question. Should he receive the charges before the Attorney General can proceed to trying him in absentia? The court, yes. He must receive it physically and indicates receipt.
And the thing is that he can be served through the Ghanaian authorities abroad.
Okay.
You see, when it comes to being tried in absentia, the state does not know where you are. Under the Constitution, the state knows where he is. He's in the States, in the United States. He goes to court. In my personal view, the Ghanaian judiciary has extremely excellent video conferencing facilities. You see, this is a situation where he's not on the run. He may not be in the country. Serve him the summons through the Ghana embassy, through whichever procedure you have to. Because when you are issuing a writ against somebody abroad, there's a process you have to go through. I believe same will be for a criminal summons. I haven't done one with a criminal because I'm not a prosecutor.
Okay.
You serve him, he acknowledges receipt, you set up the video conferencing facilities, you have your trial.
All right.
But there may be technical issues. Honestly speaking, maybe his presence here may assist in further investigations. Not to say that the prosecutor authorities may not have adequate grounds, you see. But sometimes, as a prosecutor authority, you want to, what you call, leave no stone unturned. You understand? Okay. You want to leave no stone unturned. And I believe that maybe his presence here may help both sides. Because the Court of Appeal in Ghana stated in one case that as a prosecutor, your duty is to do justice. It is not to secure a conviction at all costs. And they quoted a case from the UK. And I agree with that mindset, that as a prosecutor, your duty should be to do justice and not to convict at all costs. Okay. So if the prosecutor authority feels that his presence here will help both sides, but I understand that he's not well. I mean, cancer is not something that you joke with. I wish they would pursue this option of serving him through the Ghana.
Can you do a trial via video, criminal trial via video?
Well, I haven't done a criminal, but I have done many. Even yesterday, I was in a civil trial by video.
Okay, I understand there's some challenges. You can't seem to do criminal trial via video, but it's something
maybe I haven't.
Anyway, Fifi, thank you. Kwame, thank you. Honorable, thank you. Today is doing me Friday, but I know just in Anna. Well, this July, I know. I will watch tomorrow. I'll come to work with tape on my eye like this. I'll still watch.
As for I and Dr. Asante, we are afraid of our competition.
So you will watch. We'll tell you the story. Watch our WhatsApp.
I'll sleep by night.
Well, this July, Ghana will host. Well, I'm excited, and so I'm happy to tell you about this one. It will interest you and yours. So thank you for staying. This morning, we're joined by Fam Samuel Inkum Tinkron. He's an author, living well, healthy and long. So that's it. This is the book. We're just going to be telling you about it. And this will be the program outline. Why? Because it's happening tomorrow and he's in studio. First of all, how are you?
I'm very, very fine.
Okay.
I never thought tomorrow will come.
But it is here.
It is here. And today too is here. And it's a great privilege to be here.
Thank you so much, especially for the pen.
Studio for very important issues.
Very much. Thank you very much. First of all, do you like football at all?
I do, but sometimes blasters.
I'm
very hopeful.
You're hopeful today, eh?
Yes. I ate my fufu yesterday.
Tell me a little bit about yourself before we talk about the book.
I am pharmacist Samuel Inkum Tinkron. I've been in practice since 1984. Along the line, I sought to do things differently. I realized that I will not be successful when I open a pharmacy. And then I thought I was also cut for activities in the main management stream.
Okay.
So I took the opportunity to train myself locally and abroad and came back and have always been dreaming of coming up with something novel, classic. And the first professional to see the manuscript of this one told me, that was Senior Abraham Jesse. He's one of our oldest pharmacists. He says, Sam, you have gold in your hands. And he was the first to endorse it. So I am very, very grateful. I mean, as a Christian, I should say I'm firstly grateful to the Almighty God because it's been a 4-year journey.
Authoring the book?
Yes. Research, not only this, but sponsoring, colleagues to go especially to the north to study the foods. They have a lot of, that's for another book.
Okay.
Yes. And 4 years before, after the second year, I realized that I can turn it into a book. So I was researching into aging, gerontology. Then along the line, I realized that I can produce this. It's a novel thing, classic, I should say, and I'm very proud of it. If you enjoy FM or multimedia, he didn't believe it until he saw the book. I'm telling you.
Well, we have the book. Now let's talk about it. Among all the other things that you could have authored, why did you choose this? Living well, healthy, and long.
Yes, I told you I started the research in aging studies. Something I'm very passionate about. In my practice, I've come across, patients and clients, I should say, who kept degenerating. You realize that it's about aging. And, there are interventions that can bring on board so that aging is either slowed down or, it's comfortable, enjoyable. And the Almighty God, I think he meant good when he desired that we live in good health and then age well. We have, figures in the Bible who aged very well, sharp brains and all that. So why are we, not on that path, but rather degenerate so early? And there are interventions. I mean, look, as a pharmacist, I realize that, we live long. Pharmacists live long. We don't take medicines. You ask most pharmacists. I'm telling you, and you have to probably get somebody to investigate. So why are we, if we have this knowledge base, why are we not disseminating, giving this, knowledge base to our people?
Right.
Are we selfish? And I started asking questions. And I realized that the system is also, pharmacists are underutilized. I must tell you, everybody know, you know it. And, they are the face of most communities. So if we can empower them to pass on the knowledge to help, our elderly people. And also you realize that the system is, more or less structured. The health system is structured to take care of acute cases and not NCDs, non-communicable
diseases, yeah.
Which can be taken care of not within the healthcare, the health centers. Most of them can be cared for in the homes and in the communities. But we, look on and they keep generating, and then they get to the hospital and the first issue is no bed, kidney cases. And look, all the organs in the body, major ones, the kidney, the liver, even the digestive system, there are ways to handle them so that they don't degenerate. I mean, aging means your legs are not carrying you, your organs are not working well, but there are, remedial measures.
In your years of research as a pharmacist, what's that biggest myth, or maybe a few myths that this body of work that you've put together will challenge?
The major myth, I should say, is that we are comfortable with some of we are comfortable with aging. We are comfortable with aging in the sense of, seeing people degenerating. We accept that it is part of aging. You've said it before, isn't it? You must have said it is not correct.
I looked at myself in the mirror and I saw a wrinkle. I say, yeah.
Yes.
Am I aging?
It is not part of it. Look, I'm 70. Look at my face. I'm 70. I was 70 on 7 February.
Wow.
Yes, and I've been able to sit down. The usual waist pains, I have it. But I ignore them. Once you engage your brain, pain is conducted along nerves. And if you engage your nerves, and the center of everything is your brain, you forget about your pain. You get my point? So, I've written it's a memoir per se, because it's about myself.
It's about yourself, which many people can relate to and all of that. Okay, so this book, I see you say that it's 40 plus, but what practical things have you suggested in this book that anybody would need?
Maybe 3. Okay. The first one is resilience.
Okay.
And, the first thing that comes to mind when I talk of resilience is the mental resilience. As you age, some of the first signs, we talk of dementia. One of the first signs of aging, apart from the legs not carrying you, is your mental acuity. But then we take it that, when you are aging, your mental faculties also must also show that you are aging. And that is the root of the root cause of dementia.
Okay.
You can fight it. I saw my dad dying slowly, degenerating and dying from dementia. So that was also one of the motivations. You can engage your brain, read. Take fresh air in the morning to activate, this side. And the whole body will respond. And the second one is about nutrition. Poor nutrition. When you ask people to, take fruits and, go along balanced diet, they say fruits are expensive. It's true. But then what's more expensive than getting into the hospital and, being told there's no bed? And in 2008, I nearly died out. It's not a recent phenomenon. 2008, thanks to Professor Holbrook Smith, I could have died from this no-bed syndrome at Kolebu. And the last time Professor Holbrook Smith saw me and I narrated my story to him, he took care of me. He had forgotten. He wept. Is that you? I'm telling you. So it's not a recent phenomenon. We can tackle it and help decongest the hospitals when we look at primary care issues, including taking care of the our aged. Everybody wishes they can age, but then we fear some of the consequences.
Which means that this book, at least, will help decongest.
Yes.
Look at our health policies in this country.
It is, I mean, what I do best in is advocacy. And advocacy, you need the evidence. I've provided the evidence. Communication, I'm a communicator. Networks, look at 23 professionals who have endorsed this book. Locally, our International Pharmaceutical Federation president has sent me a video message to endorse this book. Our West African Postgraduate College of Pharmacists, the president has sent me a message. And Ghana, look, this book, if you buy one for 10,000, you haven't done anything. I'm telling you. It's a mini, I don't want to use the word encyclopedia.
We'll let it pass, Pam. We'll let it pass today.
It was 600 pages.
And you scaled it down to how many?
Scaled down to just under 300.
Okay.
The index, when I used the software, it gave me 45 pages of index. Refer to this, refer to that. And personally, I reduced to just 3 pages. You will see it.
A pharmacist by profession and a chartered marketer by distinction. Oh my goodness, that's some title. So tomorrow we're launching this book. Where are we launching this book?
The Palms by Eagles, former
Holiday
Inn.
Yep.
But unfortunately, it's by invitation.
I was just about to shout, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
It's overbooked, but
okay.
You can come.
Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. Who are our guest speakers? Who are we expecting?
Is the administrator of the Mahama case. Yes, she's a bit tight. But if she's listening to me, please, I'm expecting her to send somebody.
Okay.
The Minister of Health, I've been in touch with him. He's also very busy, but I think he can also send somebody. We have the rector of the Ghana College of Pharmacists has spent about 2 weeks to do a review.
Okay.
And, she's not going to take too long, maybe just about 5 minutes, because she's a professor. She knows what to do. And the launching will be done by the president of the West Africa Postgraduate College of Pharmacists by video link.
Okay.
And it's amazing.
So tomorrow, those who are lucky to have received the invitation, and me who is also going to be lucky to be attending, how much should we come with? And after the launch, where can we find this book?
As much as, yes, the venue, they are my headline sponsors.
Okay.
So if you happen to pass through the Palms, you can get a copy. Otherwise, after I was waiting for the lunch, it's taking a lot of preparation. We get this done, then the usual place is Shell, Tuna, wherever. Maybe at your front desk too.
Okay, yes. Okay. I hope you sign one and give it to the Minister for Health, because he is looking to decongest.
Yes, I've sent one to him.
Okay, and I hope he reads, because he's looking.
Okay, let me autograph this for you.
Of course you will. You will autograph this for me. But while you're at it, in one sentence, how will you define wellness?
Wellness. Wellness is not a destination, if I may put it. And I've cited this throughout some of the writings. It's not a destination. It's a lifestyle choice. And it's not about luck. You have to prepare. You have to prepare. And it's about, if it's about lifestyle, then whatever you do, whilst we're talking of 40 plus, you may not think that, 40 and below you are, but that's where the challenges start from. Yes, so I'm democratizing, health knowledge, and we can. After all, old people are being taken care of by, families. Yes. So everybody must know about this, because one day you may be there. So it's lifestyle choices, the decisions that you make. The young people, when you are misbehaving, you must know that someday you will age and you must enjoy your aging. So it's an advice to everyone.
All right. You're so kind with your words this morning. Tham Samuel Inkum Tinkran is launching his book, and it's a body of work that will be good for you. And most importantly, if you're in your 40s or you're nearly entering your 40s. But if you're also a caregiver, you definitely will need this book. So we launch this book tomorrow at Palms by Eagle. But you can as well get a copy after the launch over there and also at different outlets, which we shall be letting you know subsequently. I get to get my copy now that he's authoring and signing it for me. Thank you so much. You want to stay with me? But we have a date tomorrow. Did I ask for the time? I didn't ask for the time for the launch.
6 p.m.
6 p.m.
Just under 2 hours. 6.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Stay with me. I'll be back before you wrap the show. Well, thank you for staying with us. We're nearly wrapping the show. We're just about talking about Sex Galore Aftermarket, a documentary that will be airing tomorrow on Adom, and my colleague Boaz is here. But quickly before I talk to Boaz, happy birthday to you, Margaret Sappho. Today we celebrate your amazing personality. May this new year bring you closer to your dreams and fill your life with endless joy and favor. Enjoy your special day. This is with love from the Sappho family, specially brought to me by Faustina Sappho to wish you, her sister, happy birthday to you as well. I've got this belated one I'm going to do quickly. Belated birthday to you, a mentor, teacher, and a friend, visionary, and a father, Prophet Joe Gama, circuit pastor of CACI Family Worship Center, Akosua. Papa, we wish you a belated birthday from the management and the entire membership of CACI Family Worship Center inside Akosua. Belated birthday to you, Papa. Now let's talk about Sex Galore at a Market, documentary that will air tomorrow. And joining me this morning is Jagri Boaz. Beninjum. Did I get the name right?
Yeah, the name is Beninjum.
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 Yeah.
And you caught people like doing something in the market.
And that is very interesting.
Huh?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
So we got a tip-off that Malata Market, where we all know that we go to buy our stuff, foodstuffs and other things. We got a tip-off that people are engaging in sexual activities at that market. And that looked weird. So we decided that, yes, let's look into that. We went into the market. The first day we wanted to confirm, I went into the market around 12 to 1 a.m. midnight. And yes, we saw people in that manner.
As in, like, they brought their bed from home to put at the market and they were doing it towards, like, as in how?
The surprise thing is that there are people living in the market like their homes.
Okay.
They've created some
tents or sheds,
yes,
okay.
where they live in those tents. And then you'll be surprised that we asked the MC, the assembly member around that area, and he confirmed that, yes, there are more than 3,000 people living in the market.
They are permanent residents. I see.
Where some of them are giving birth, others are engaged in sexual activities. Some are engaged in fact, some are even selling drugs. And that look so serious.
Are these young people or just any age at all? You find any age group at all?
Like you said, you find people who are grown-ups, you find youth as well. And not only men, there are, when you talk about sex, it is about men and women.
Yes.
And it's very surprising. When we got into the markets and we saw those things, in fact, we witnessed condoms on tables. And those tables...
table na nka de chair beto on toes also no.
And yes, ade chair. Table na ade chair you talk and toes. You didn't toes ko gu so. E ma wo market, e ko to ade ho. You do board there. Yeah, we saw condom.
Condom mama use ana say dey.
Condom mama use.
Hey. I know.
And your condoms sperms on tables.
Which means that they're having sex on the tables or what?
In the night. Then in the daytime, no more packet. And when you look at the documentary that we are showing tomorrow,
You see all those things. So we're in the night and then they leave. They go to work and then in the night they come back to sleep there. And you know one interesting thing? You know it is against the law. Not only the law,
of course.
We must draw the attention of the government, not only government, the authority, to know that what is happening there will not only affect our health, but our psychology as well. You know the women who sells there, when they come to market and they see those things, you know in Africa and Ghana, we believe in spirituality.
Yeah.
When you see those things, they will begin to think that, no, I may not be able to make sales because of what has happened on my table.
Do they know that it is indecent exposure?
Oh, yes. And when you go there to buy food stuff, you know, normally when you go there to buy plantain, like yam and other stuff, you see those things on table. And it is serious, and the authority must take a serious look at it. And you know one interesting thing, we got the MC at the area, Colin Wood. He told us that, in fact, he is aware. The assembly is aware of whatever that is happening at that market, and they are taking steps. As to when that steps will be implemented is the problem.
This documentary will let them give you when. Don't worry. So tomorrow, what time is it airing on Adom?
Yes, exactly 3 p.m. on Adom TV. The documentary will be aired. And one interesting thing is that we got a medical officer who confirmed to us that because people are engaged in those sexual activities, it is more likely and possible that people may get diseases or may be infected by diseases. And this is a serious thing that we think the authority must look at. And before we go, you know that not only Malata market, there are other markets. Sometimes you hear people do these things at the beach, even in cars, vehicles. And you ask yourself, what are we up to? How do we put a stop at these things? You go to Abubulishin and other market, and you see people engaging in this act. And I think that the authority should take a serious measure to look at that.
We'll invite them to watch this documentary tomorrow on Adom, 3 p.m., Sex Galore at a market, produced by my colleague at the Adom Special Assignment Desk, Jagri Boaz. Thank you so much, Boaz, for bringing this to our attention. Like, people really are having sex in the market, open markets, like, that's serious. Don't miss that documentary tomorrow. But thank you so much for joining us on the show today. We have a date, 11 p.m. We're in Panama. We'll watch it, and tomorrow you have to wake up with me to come and do the show tomorrow. Don't miss it, so stay.